Oh, what a lovely time. Oh, if you could have heard some of the naughty things being said before the cameras came
naughty.
on.
Oh my God.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Goofy. Welcome, everybody, to High Rollers D&D. It's me, your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. I'm joined by the Giggle crew over here. We've got Rhiannon, we've got Trot, we've got Kim, and on the other side...
Oh, God.
We've got Tom and Katie.
Don't do that. That's really good.
My crust.
That's good.
My crust of the clown.
Krusty the Clown.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're back. Everybody's here. We got the full team this week. It's time. We're going to play some D&D for you very, very shortly. Not many announcements this week. Just one. Oh, who's a birthday boy? Who's a birthday boy? It's Thomas Hazel. He's the birthday boy.
Hey.
Hey.
That's right.
He's going home in a fucking ambulance.
It's my birthday and I'll cry if I want to.
And he does want to. But yeah,
It's my birthday on Tuesday.
It's his birthday on Tuesday.
He looks so happy.
Birthday.
60 years old.
Could you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Don't look a day over 59.
Well, you're not celebrating. You're not going to be celebrating.
Refund my blood boy.
You're not going to be celebrating alone for too long because next week it's
Won't
High
be
Rollers
celebrating for too
9th.
We have plans.
Was that nice and ominous?
No, don't think about that for too long.
One time you pop your blood boy. Wow.
No, it is High Rollers 9th birthday next week.
Oh, God.
9 years.
Oh, my
Can you believe it?
9 years.
You started when you were 50.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he did, yeah.
Your
51.
laugh then, Ree, was just a water drop of a noise. It was one single...
That's a good noise.
Do you think we can get cancelled before then?
No.
This is the year to get cancelled.
I'm tired, Strong. I'm so tired.
Cancel us.
No, don't.
Here's a hot take.
No.
I thought it would be Ree.
Stop.
It's always the quiet ones.
Stop. Right, with that, but yeah, it's Tom's birthday. That's it. That's all the announcements. We're just going to jump in. That's it.
Quickly.
We'll quickly move on. Sam, play the intro. Do it, Sam, quick.
We had
I'm
members
more to
video.
say.
Welcome back to Altheya, the Dragon Empire. After defeating the Reclaimer cult and subduing Sir Ignis Eldrak from the throes of Crownstill Corrupted Fury, our heroes escaped the heart of Daranax and discovered a recently abandoned town above the underground lake. Here, they attempted to recover after the intense battle and consider their next move. As they left the village, Xanthius set it ablaze, casting fiery shadows and trails of smoke behind them as they began to navigate the hills and plains back to Ashen Rest. On the journey, they encountered Rodri, their pack beast, Baranth and Percival, who had travelled overland separately, and continued on with their journey without incident save for a strange elven musician who had camped out on the hills and shared stories and songs with the party. As the group reached the broken road that links Gildeye with Cauldre via Ashen Rest, a pair of shapes in the air quickly drew their attention as Lord Obsidius and Lady Emberissa flew down to meet them. Obsidius furious with the party for sending a letter via Captain Nathaniel and the Earthworks Company, which detailed everything they knew. Emberissa, however, seemed more concerned, her eyes searching the group for something or someone. And that is where we begin once again today.
I'm right here.
Some
Don't worry, Emberissa. I'm right here.
Somehow.
Some when, some whom. But yes, we find ourselves on this long trade road. So it is like a cobbled road. It is a trade road. It has been paved. Probably somewhere in the far distance there are the occasional like wayside inn for travelers and things like that. But you are out on sort of the middle of nowhere, really. There are large hills with forest to one side, and then back the way you came are the beginnings of the Ash Hills, where you begin to see the land itself change to that golden colour that has been familiar for the last 10 days or so as you've been travelling. Before you, in their humanoid forms, stand Lord Obsidius and Lady Emberissa. Lord Obsidius with his black and red sort of horns and scales showing on his dark skin. Lady Emberissa, slightly lighter coloured, but still heavily tanned in her beautiful reds and golds. And yes, I believe that literally Obsidius had just finished speaking quite harshly with Gruffith, furious about this letter that had been sent. Probably once again reciting his points of just like, you do not realise the things that you said in that letter, what they implied, what could have happened if anybody else had got their eyes upon it. You are fortunate indeed that our father did not read this letter, that it was brought to me directly, that none others read it, or perhaps sold it elsewhere. Do you understand what could have happened?
Rowan's just looking very sheepish.
Daisy's hiding behind Rowan.
Yeah, the eyes kind of casting around, probably lingering on Gruffith, as Gruffith was the one who said, it was me, I sent the letter. Like, sort of, do you understand what would have happened if anyone else had read this?
I take full blame for this.
This is not some danger that you can shelter you and your party from, Gruffith. I understand that you wish to protect the others, but this was not just your decision, I am assuming. I'm sure that all of you, any of you could have spoken up. And he looks at you, Xanthias. You need to be far more careful, you especially.
I cannot vouch that anyone else in my party knew what I was doing.
He kind of grumbles. Emberissa, Obsidius, enough! Is he alive? And she like looks around.
Yes, my lady.
You see this immense breath of relief exude out from her. Where is he?
If I may, it might be a bit of a shock to see him.
Her eyes blink. There is a moment. No need for insight rolls on this. There's a hesitation. That seems to strike a deep fear. But she then like shakes her head. No, I need to see him. I need to see him. And you see Lady Verithera. My lady, he is in the wagon. We have tried to make him as comfortable as possible, but I can talk to you a little of what has happened. And it's like they've seen her for the first time, right? Even though she's this enormous, like, sort of 8 foot tall, dragon lady who's been accompanying you. They're just, they didn't even notice she was there. And you see them both, oh, we're in the presence of another dragon, like, even though a younger one. And Obsidius doesn't really care. He's just like, some young kid, I don't care about that right now. Emberissa's a little bit more like, who are you? I am Lady Verithera, 14th daughter of the Archdragon of Mistwald. A pleasure to meet you, my lord and lady. She sort of bows her head, and Emberissa is like, will you show me him? Of course. And she takes Emberissa to the back of the wagon. Meanwhile, How's Xanthus doing?
Oh, I am pissed with Obsidius.
Yeah.
I am so angry with him.
Yeah.
Like, fucking almost on the knife edge of saying something, but I need to be more careful, like he said. But telling Gruff, of all people, to know their place? Oh.
So how obvious is it that Xanthus is?
I mean, I don't think it's all too subtle that I'm like,
No?
there's
no need for an insight check. Is that what you're telling me, or
mean,
is this
it's
like?
not like I'm full on glaring at him, but
Are you
like,
trying to suppress it?
I'm suppressing saying something.
Okay.
But he's clearly like tense and like he is not looking too kindly towards.
Obsidius doesn't even notice. He's oblivious to whatever you're feeling. It almost probably caught in his own fury.
I'm stood there like Arthur right now, my fist be clenched.
That's perfect. I will say, like, Gruff, you know, he faces Obsidius, and he's got a very kind of strong posture, but the, you know, friends knowing him will see that his tail is drooping and twitching a little bit. His ears are perhaps a little, like,
Airplane ears.
flatter. Yeah.
And is this like anger? Is this like I'm being admonished? Like, what is the kind of
I
game
think a
with
mix
Gruff at the
of
moment?
both. Like, he's angry because this privileged man-child is cheering him out when it's like the safety of, like, you know, he thought this was important and doesn't quite understand the machinations of all of this and the politics of all of this, but also, like, yeah, big dragon shouting at him. It's kind of a scary you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And also Gruff strikes me as the person who does respect or respects that this is a lord of the land, like you are trying to be a knight, like, you know, there's probably an element here of like Gruff strikes me as a person who would respect their position. And being told off by like a senior almost, right? And this is the thing. Lady Verathera like busies herself with Marissa, and as the rest of you as this is happening, you see her being led to the back of the wagon, and the back door of your wagon, it's like a covered wagon, is sort of opened, and you just hear it. No. And you see Marissa just fall to her knees and just is like holding her hands to her mouth, and you see tears like welling up in her eyes. It's my fault.
What's Rodri up to?
He's happily munching on some grass at the side of the road. He's just like, he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, oh, we've stopped. Great. I love stopping. I love rests. He's having a whale of a time.
Rowan just looks to his left, sees Obsidius, Xanthus, and Gruff.
So Obsidius will look on the group, like, what's happening with Marissa is like at the back of the wagon, right? And she's moved off. Any of you, if you want to go and interact with that, you absolutely can. But Obsidius kind of like catches you all. What exactly happened? The letter that you sent said that this cult was gathering Crown Steel. What happened since then? What has happened since you sent this letter?
We discovered an underground fortress that was...
The one that's Rowan's vision.
Yes.
Yes.
We found the location. The Reclaimers had taken it as their own and were using it to store and hoard Crown Steel and use it to pollute the water supply. Lady Verathera and poor Sir Eldrac were being held captive and were being forced to consume Crown Steel against their will.
That you hear like another sort of like gasp of, oh, no, like from Marissa. She's hearing this like as you're retailing it, like
Dragon hearing.
Yeah.
Lady Verathera was able to fend off its effects, but Sir Eldrac was not so fortunate.
All of you, it's not subtle. Like, I think Obsidius's anger is kind of not letting him be his usual kind of calculated self, and immediately he looks towards Verathera worryingly. Like, when you say that, like, Verathera was being affected by this as well, he's like, do I need to worry?
Verathera, she managed to conceal it by creating an extra pocket, and managed to, throw it back up again, so it wasn't actually affecting her at all.
She didn't consume.
None. It all came back.
Very well, please continue, Sister Ophelia.
So we encountered these Reclaimers. We fought the majority of them in a very tough battle. But we managed to succeed, thanks to Lady Verathira's help, and we escaped.
What of the crown steel?
The crown steel is still in the location, but we have removed it from contaminating the water supply further.
Very well. It will need to be recovered. It cannot remain there.
No, we could not risk taking it on the road with us, for either we would be discovered with it, or it would start affecting us.
There's also a lot of it. Very large amount.
I will deal with the ground steel.
It is extremely dangerous. I understand that you are a being with immense power and strength, and you come from an extremely powerful family, but this situation is worse.
Sister Ophelia, perhaps Xanthias has not explained, but I am very familiar with ground steel and its effects.
I just worry that I want you to understand. Well, I know you understand. What I'm trying to say, Lord Obsidius, is that this situation is bigger than I think we even thought it would be. Going into it, facing it head on, it's incredibly dangerous. And now there are reclaimers possibly, or who knows where more reclaimers could be.
Do you think that was this cult not all of them? You think there are more of them?
There was a village above ground, above this secret lair.
Yes.
Possibly worshippers worshipping this crown steel, and if there are reclaimers there, word could have spread. There could be reclaimers all over Ilmera.
They did like to hide in ruins, structures that were around. They could hide anywhere.
I have not heard of these reclaimers before, but they would not be the first cult or group that sought to gather ground steel in this way. You are wise to be fearful of this wicked metal. And these reclaimers, it is good to know that that threat still exists. We must make sure that they do not get hold of these gifts once more, this metal. We must make sure that they cannot achieve their goals.
If I may speak,
Of course.
Lord Obsidius, the village that we came across, it was actually quite well established in ruins, and there was evidence that people evacuated before we arrived there. On top of that, I found this, and I present the prophecy of Daranax,
He takes
the
it,
tome.
he opens it, and with an alarming speed, you can tell he's not just flicking through it, he's reading. But
Faker.
like, troubling. It is clear that what perhaps was once the acts of some followers of Galvasar have become this religious cult. They follow meanings. He kind of shuts it. He hands it back to you, Gruff. He stops, and you can see he's thinking. He takes a moment, raises a hand to his chin. There's no beard, but he just strokes sort of the corners. You can see there's little bits of scale almost along his chin. He's kind of rubbing those. His eyes do occasionally glance towards you, Xanthias. Yeah.
That was perfect.
He looks at you with an intensity. And what happened with you, Xanthias? Remember, there are enchantments placed upon you to alert me to such events.
Oh, you can't lie, boy.
We're supposed to hide that we know.
We knew.
Yeah, I know we know, but nobody's supposed to hide it.
So you already know then?
I would prefer to hear it from you.
You already know.
Just waits.
If this enchantment works like you say it does, like you says it do, then you know what it does. You know what I did. You know what we had to do on your mission to save Eldrak.
He doesn't say anything, he just stares at you.
I'm not going to say anything, I stare at him.
Sure. So if you're staring off for a moment, his frown deepens.
I'm also kind of glancing towards Emberissa as well, because I know she can hear this conversation, right?
Yeah, she can, yeah. She definitely seems absorbed in, like, Verithera is kind of whispering to her and speaking to her as well, but she probably can hear. Maybe, like, she reacted to the thing about Sir Eldrak because obviously she heard his name, but again, you don't know how much of this she might be comprehending, right? Like, she can definitely hear it. How much she's paying attention, though? How would you know?
How indeed?
Daisy's gonna
Yeah, anybody else?
wander over to Emberissa and
You sneak away.
pat her on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Well, even kneeling down, I think Daisy's arm would probably just sort of reach an arm, but she kind of, you feel like her hand, like, enclose over yours, and with teary eyes, she looks at you, and it's strange because, like, whenever you've seen her, she's this powerful, very regal presence. And seeing this immense and you know that she's powerful. You know, she's an adult dragon. Like, she wields magic and strength beyond that of most creatures. And yet, in this moment, you see this terrified, hurt, guilty woman. There is, like, I'm not even gonna make you roll insight. You can see she feels guilty. And she just looks at you with these pleading eyes and just barely manages to sort of whisper, "Thank you."
There was no way that you could have known. And it's very clear to me that he did everything in his power to resist this. And even towards the end, when we were finishing up our fight, he was very brave and did what needed to be done. And he's part of the reason that we got out of there.
The kind words definitely seem to crack more of the composure that she's barely holding together. He just wanted to prove himself. I thought the quest would be... I thought that it would make my father recognize him. He did it because he just wanted to be part of our family. And now look at him. My boy, my son. And she's like staring at the arm's been bandaged, but you can still see the corrupted horn, the eye, the patches of flesh. And yeah, she's just absolutely broken, heartbroken by this. And she probably hasn't even recognized, seen it yet, whoever's got Heart Warden, but, she's just totally focused on Sir Eldrak right now.
He did incredibly well, and this is not anybody's fault, really. How could anyone have known the extent of what this could be? We didn't know the extent of it when we went in. It's a horrifying situation, and it's nobody's fault.
She is nodding, but she says, "But my father despises Crownsteel. If he sees Eldrak like this..." Lady Verithera is just like, "My lady, it is not... It is severe, but it is reversible in time. It will cost vast amounts of diamonds and gold for the ingredients to perform the spells that will remove the sickness from him. But with time and resources, he will be all right. Thanks to these adventurers, they found him before it reached a state where it could not be undone. There is a certain level of corruption where it cannot be reversed. But this, Eldrak can come back from this. But it will take a long time and many resources. Anything you need, child, I will provide it."
See, we have time. It's okay. And he's alive, and he is still him. He's himself. Despite the appearance.
She nods. She sort of places, she kind of brings you in, but like places her head against yours. It's a little hard with the horns, but she kind of places her head. Thank you, Daisy. And seems to genuinely appreciate the effort.
I'm just look back at Xanthius. He's still having a staring contest. I'm like, no.
I think that hearing, because you all hear this conversation with Daisy as well, that's probably like hearing his sister in this state. It's enough for Obsidius to like break the stare with Xanthius. He kind of like looks away.
In an edgelord way.
In an in a Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, good enough.
He had hair, he'd flick it.
And then he pulls a gun and goes on his motorbike.
There is an element of Shadow to it. I hate to admit that it was not in his original design, but having seen the film, I was like, oh fuck. But I'm just
saying,
it's fine.
he's not a true dragonborn. Faker.
I think you're the fake dragon around here.
You're comparing yourself to me. You're not even good enough to be my fake. Oh, you eat those words.
God.
I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm sorry. We got a nice, serious, emotional moment. We had, Tom can't let that sit for too long.
Shadow the Hedgehog mentioned zero.
The 12 people listening to this are like, hell yeah. The 12 Sonic fans.
Obsidius will dramatically look away. He will just say, that conversation is not over. This is a dangerous path. You have now all seen the consequences of this metal, the power it wields. That is not even to speak of those. It seems that these reclaimers, from your descriptions, did not have the means to properly process the crown steel. In its raw forms, it is weaker, duller, but when properly processed, it can be far worse. I must go to this place. We must recover the crown steel, or destroy it, or something. And I wish a report on everything you know of these reclaimers. I have my own agents that I will send out to see if I can learn more of them, where they are, who leads them. This name in the book, I will take that and use that to begin the search. He pulls out, he kind of waves his hand in the air and a small hole in like sort of a tear in the air forms. He reaches in and pulls out a scroll case, he pulls out a map from. Rowan, could you please indicate where you found this place?
Oh, yes. Easy. Here we go.
Yeah, he's pointing.
Throw a dart.
I'm assuming you point out the location that you remember it to be. Yeah, with one sort of long, like taloned finger, it's got like a long nail on it.
My finger.
Obsidius. The tip of it heats up, and he just circles it with like a bit of heat on the map, and then he rolls it up and puts it in like his shirt of his humanoid form, closes the hole with a spell, some sort of portable sort of magic bag of holding spell or something. I will go there to investigate, to consider how we deal with the crown steel.
Do you need accompaniment for that? We only ask, is it wise to maybe have some others, just in case, because we've seen the effects of this.
The difficulty when having others is that, much like the letter, it broadens the risk of being detected by people. If the wrong people... I could summon guards from the city, from my father's town, yes. How much do I trust those guards? Not to sell that information, to pass it on. This is a game of shadows. I do not trust many people. Neither should you. There are forces, there are factions and powers in this empire that would kill all of you and all you hold dear for this knowledge. I do not wish to risk that knowledge. Crown steel is difficult to transport. I cannot move it through magical means. I certainly cannot place it into an extra-dimensional space that would cause irreparable damage. Perhaps I can summon some agents of mine that I do trust.
If I may, Lord, Lady Verithera and her companions were originally tasked to purify the area, so they know of it, Penelope Baranth. And they are honorable people.
Lady Verithera will sort of look up like, oh no, why are you bringing me into this?
She wanted to go back anyway!
I mean, she does say that. She'll say like, my lord Obsidius, yes, my desire is to return to the place that the crown steel, the sickness is in, so that I can begin rituals to purify the land. But also, and then she looks at Sir Eldrak and Lady Emberissa, but I do also need to help Sir Eldrak. And she sort of thinks, and Emberissa will now sort of turn around to the group like, I cannot take him back to Ashen Rest. My father cannot see him like this. But I have an estate in Kelskaris in the city that my father does not go to. He does not know of it. It is my personal residence. I will take my son there. Lady Verithera, she would call Verithera. She would be like, little sibling. I need your help to heal him. I cannot leave him like this. And you see Verithera is sort of torn. And then she looks down, and you see Penelope's just like been trying to like, no, she's like, don't perceive me, I don't want to be seen. My apprentice, I could teach her the spell, and she could accompany you, Lady Emberissa. She is young and she is not as powerful, but I could teach her the spell needed. It can only be performed. There is a long amount of time before it can be performed again. It will give Penelope time to learn and practice. And you see Penelope's like, my lady, I don't know if I'm good enough for that. And she's sort of like, oh. She's like, you will be fine, child. You know what you are to do, and you will have time to practice. And you have been looking after Sir Eldrak on the journey anyway. You are familiar with what has happened, and I trust you to keep a secret. And I'm sure you will not let the Lady Emberissa down. Oh, no, I wouldn't do that, ma'am. It's just sort of like panicking a little bit. But Emberissa will just be like, I would give you anything, little one, to help me. Like, little Penelope. She's like, oh, I guess so. I don't think I have a choice. I guess, yeah, I go to the big city. I've never been to Kelskaris before, but sure, I'll go if that helps. And then Verithera is like, that would allow me to go back and begin the rituals with Baranth, and I will summon some of my other acolytes and apprentices who are druids. They can help me with purifying the land, and I can help Lord Obsidius figure out how to deal with the crown steel, as Griffith suggests. That way the circle of trust is limited to those who already know. Yes, that seems agreeable to me. I will need just a night to teach Penelope the spell that she must know, but then after that I can go back to the village and the lake.
Well, we could help if you need more hands, more people, because we already know all the things and stuff. And
I am not certain how you would be able to help me, Daisy. What is required now is... I do not feel that you would have the abilities to help me with this. And besides, I think it best that Xanthias does not return to that place.
I agree on that part.
You should head back to Ashen Rest. I believe that my sister has promised you rewards that you have well earned. And if you present my advice to you, speak with my father, Duke Ignorius. Present him with this cultist book. Tell him that there was a threat. A cult was attempting to gather crown steel. that they pose a threat to Ashen Rest in North Vale, but reveal nothing of Sir Eldrak, reveal nothing about what happened in that place, and his eyes glance towards Xanthias. But instead, form it as a potential threat. There is a cult. They have something to do with crown steel, some ancient foe. This Daranax was a foe of my father's. He was a dragon that was responsible for the Battle of the Ashen Hills. Connect those two. My father will agree that there is a threat and will reward you for it, as promised, I think. But my advice is do not tell him that there is crown still present. Do not tell him of what happened with Eldrak. For my sister's sake, if nothing else. And he kind of looks towards Emberus. There's a strange look on his face. You'd need insight check if you want to kind of pick up on what that might be. Someone likes the goss.
7.
7. Insight.
I have cat hair in my mouth. That's fine.
Nice.
18.
18.
17.
17 and 18. It's a genuine look of he knows what will happen to Eldrak if Duke Ignarius finds out he's been corrupted. And it would break Emberus's heart, because it would be bad. And so he's when he's saying don't speak of what happened to Eldrak, that's from a very strong care for his sister, half-sister.
My lord, forgive me if Ignarius asks for your whereabouts.
I will be returning to Ashen Rest here and there. I will travel between the two. It is not unusual for both my sister and I to be about other business. I will simply tell him that I'm investigating something. Perhaps I will even say that I'm working with you to investigate this cult. But it is not uncommon for us to leave the place. Emberissa will turn around and say, I will say that I wish to spend some time in the capital. That, again, is not unusual for me. I often go there for diplomacy and politics. It will not be uncommon for me to spend some large, lengthy amounts of time there, months at a time. But I will accompany you back to Ashen Rest, for I have promised you rewards, and I will see to it that you get them. May I ask, did you... And she looks at you, Gruff. You found it. Shield.
Yes, my lady, I... Hello, my name is Gruff. Village in Tremor. Xanthias, what have you done right now? Yes, my lady. Yes, my lady. I didn't want to interrupt, but...
Oh, I was preoccupied, Gruff, I think.
May I present you with Hearth Warden?
She takes it, and in her hands, it's big, but she's still, a lot taller than a normal human. She's 9 feet. It's not like that, but she's holding it.
What is this, a shield for ants?
And she places it close to her heart, and she's hugs it basically. Thank you. I would like to keep this, but I will make sure that you have your reward as promised. This will help soothe things with my father eventually, when perhaps the truth will need to be told to him, but not for some time.
There really is no rush on rewards or anything like that, my lady. We just are grateful that
It will be a small trifle, my dear. It will be a small thing to make sure you get what you deserve. But yes, we will head back, and then perhaps could I ask you, Verithira, child, would you stay with Eldrak until we get back to the city? Keep him asleep and peaceful. And then when I leave for Kelskaris, I will collect him, and I have means of getting him out of Ashen Rest and transporting him to the city unseen. And then you can accompany my brother back to this horrid place that these horrid things happened.
Lady Emberissa, sorry, I also have Eldrak's halberd as well.
Oh, she'll take that.
Sorry,
There we go.
his arm.
Here's his arm, do you want it? Here's his arm.
Oh, don't mind that.
Yeah. We iced it. You can just probably do something like that.
She will gladly take the halberd. Thank you, Sister Ophelia. this has been Eldrak's weapon for many years. It will bring him comfort to still have it.
A night beater's weapon.
Indeed. Thank you. Yeah, and she will take that as well. And yeah, with that, Obsidius is sort of like, right, I'm done. Like he seems to have cooled off. Perhaps it's the red dragon part of him. That fiery temper was like a burst of fire, and now it's sort of cooled, and the pragmatic black dragon side is coming back out now. He probably asks more like tactical questions. You know, he asks like, did any of these cultists have strange powers? He kind of goes back into researcher mode and he begins making mental notes about everything you tell him about the battle, the Chosen, anything that you reveal to him, basically. He begins like making these detailed sort of like notes about this cult, things to look out for, symbols, you know, how they were dressed, what sort of equipment they had, anything that they said, you know, these kind of more present tactical matters. Probably avoids talking with Xanthius, though.
He's a liability.
I've left that circle of chat now. I'm outie. Fuck this guy.
Xanthus has left the group
Fuck
chat.
this entire guy.
What are you talking about?
Man, oh my god. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill that man one day.
Podcast listeners, for the last 5-10 minutes, Thomas has been clenching his jaw.
He's been furious.
My jaw clenched, butthole clenched, fist clenched. Ain't no part of me unclenched. I need to loosen up. This is a fun, chill time. This guy's dead.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that,
I
man.
just need another like 16 levels. I need to be level 23.
A few relics and like
Couple relics down.
Some crown steel.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
A little bit more crown steel, that would help.
I'll microdose some crown steel.
Go back to that pile and just throw
then-
yourself in it.
This guy did not say thank you once.
Nope, he hasn't.
They're gonna get married. That's how I see this.
I'm gonna kill this guy or I'm gonna fuck him.
The two binaries.
The group, it is encouraged that you continue back towards Ashen Rest to like get back safety with this plan of like then Verithera, Obsidius, and Baranth will head back to where it was and begin their processes. Meanwhile, Emberissa will then smuggle Sir Eldrak to Kelskaris, where she can basically like help him recuperate. As you continue on the journey, now you're on the road, and now you have two very powerful dragons. I'm not going to worry about any random encounters or anything like that. It would be silly. I'd be like,
A wolf comes out.
7 wolves, and Barissa just destroys all 3 of them. Destroys all.
Wait, but the pelts!
I love the idea that like some trader is just trying to sell stuff. Like, you know, just like a roadside trader. Would you like some nuts?
When you
Just imagining the wolf howl and then well, it's like the Tom Scott vape thing. It just disappears.
that night, when you go to camp, you can see, you know, the 2 dragons are, you know, they are probably having a quiet conversation, just the 2. Lady Verithera will approach you all. My friends, I would like to just take a moment. I wanted to express my deep gratitude for rescuing me from that cult, preventing. I'm not sure that I could have kept holding out as long as I did. I was doing what I could, but if they had kept me there for months, I would have been far worse than poor Eldrak. And also because your actions have helped the hills as well. You have helped the land itself. You've brought hope to those lands. They are now free of this corruption, the sickness that would have made it something very evil in time. Balance can now be restored, and perhaps one day people can live in amongst those hills once more. From the ashes, something new will be born. And I wanted to give you a symbol of that. And she pulls from, like, she has this kind of, like, leafy tunic kind of thing. She pulls 5 flowers These are, those of you who are from Caldra would recognize these as a sort of local flower called a fiola.
Okay.
And you can see that they were once, they were probably picked from the ash hills because there's still remnants of the black, red, and gold coloring to them, but they've been purified. I used my magic to purify these and enchant them, so they will not wither and die. But I wanted them to be a symbol of what you did here. And she presents to each of you these fiolas of renewal. These are magical boons, so these are a one-use thing. You will also find them in D&D Beyond. Does somebody want to read out the description for me? There's a little description of the item at the top and then the effect.
This Fiola flower was picked in the Ash Hills, but has been purified and enchanted by the green dragon Lady Verathera. I have not been spelling that
I have not
correctly.
been spelling that right.
It has a vibrant orange and glows with soft wisps of fire. When a character is at 0 HP and must make a death saving throw, they can spend 1 fate and immediately roll up to 3 hit dice They can spend 1 fate and immediately roll up to 3 hit dice, regaining that many hit points.
Oh.
Once used, the magic fades from the flower.
So it's like a one-use thing, but it's like when you're at 0 HP and you're making death saving throws, instead of making a death saving throw, you can spend up to 3 hit dice, roll them, and then you get that many hit points.
That's awesome.
To represent the idea of renewal and that from this place, life can bloom once more. That's
Very
the
cool.
idea.
1 each.
You get 1 each. Yeah, they are one use only though.
Wow.
The magic will remain enough that the flowers themselves won't wither and die, but the magic of the effect is a one-use only thing. And then enough that you could put them in your on your cuff or like in your hair or whatever you wanted to do with them. You could also eat it. I'm not sure how that would work, but I'd figure something out.
Nice yummy one.
Just works for everything.
It does. It's so good.
It's just a catch-all joke, except for podcast listeners who get just the noise.
Quickly and
I think it's from context, the noise makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gives one of these, and so this is just a small thing. I do not have many riches, despite being a daughter of an archdragon. I do not have riches or things like that to give you, but I hope that this will serve as a reminder of what you have done here.
Oh, we also owe you, Lady Verathera.
No, not at all.
Oh, thanks to you, we were able to hold back those cultists and make it out in one piece.
I'm sure that you would have fought bravely and finished them off without me.
Oh.
I am not one. Fighting and killing is not in my nature. There are many green dragons who can, but I find it very distasteful. It makes me very I feel very sick and I shake and I seize up. I cannot think when there is much violence happening around me. I was not born. I was meant to heal. So.
Oh, I'm sorry you were trapped in an environment where you had to bear witness to that
That is all right.
horrible thing.
I think seeing what it was doing to Sir Eldrak, I needed to do something. But yes, a little something.
Well, thank you very much. It's extremely kind of you.
Smells lovely.
Yes, I find them. They are a pleasant flower here in Caldra. It reminds me of camp smoke and the warm hearth of a fire. I find it very welcoming. If you like these flowers, if you ever visit Mistwald, it is a land of beautiful nature and many beautiful plants and flowers, Rowan. I think you would like it.
I'll be sure to add it to my list.
You should visit, yes. I will try to send word back home that should you ever grace there, you would obviously please feel free to let my family know that you are friends of mine and that you have saved my life, and that I will send word that you are to be treated as guests if you ever visit my home.
Thank
It's
you
very kind. Thank you.
Xanthias, may I speak with you alone?
Of course, Lady Verathera.
Sort of like, would you walk with me just out, amongst the hills for a moment?
Okay. Is it like nighttime now? Or?
Yeah, it's like nighttime.
Okay, cool.
Like a little nighttime walk, like sun's just setting. She will walk with you, little cousin. she would call you, because you're a dragonborn. She's a dragon, so she kind of calls you little cousin.
Okay.
It's like
Kind of.
that's what she would call you. Whether you like it or not is up to you.
Probably little shit more appropriate.
Daisy's dead.
Number 2 on the list.
That wasn't Daisy. Daisy wouldn't say that. That was me, bitch.
I'm going to transcend realities.
I wish to speak with your little cousin because I cannot ignore what I saw
Of course.
down in the lake. You carry the sickness.
Yes. Yes, a secret that I'm really failing to keep.
I feel that there was not much you could do in that incident.
No, I tried my best, but
You did. And your friends helped pull you back from something which, in the history of our kind, very few have resisted its lure. You should be proud of yourself and grateful to your friends for being able to do that.
I am. I want you to know, by the way, I do not seek this out, nor did I seek it out to begin with, this sickness. I don't intend to use it for anything but the
Then
best
may-
intentions.
Then may I ask, how did the piece become trapped here?
On
She
a,
gestures to her chest for podcast listeners.
I know that. This is Tom speaking, not Xanthius. I know it's really difficult to tell. Because I know that she's like green dragon. That's a different nation. I'm already spooked by political intrigue as it is with Gildai and stuff like that. I'm not going to be super forthright with it. But I was attacked by someone with a crown steel weapon, and it awakened some kind of magic within me that is currently holding it at bay as best it can. But unfortunately, lodged that shard within my chest.
And this magic, that is what keeps it there. I have seen that it sort of covers the wound.
Yes, it tries to
And
stops anyone else from feeling its effects.
I
Its
was going
negative
to
effects.
ask, none of your companions have felt the effects of it?
No, not well. If in a very, very small way, maybe, but I don't believe it's escaping that cage, so to speak.
May I see your arm?
Yes.
She holds her hands out like she wants to
I think at this point I've got like it's not even close to this like leather glove that I had before.
wrapped in
it's
bandages.
yeah.
You've tried to hide it as best you can.
Yeah.
She kind of takes it and slowly, gently unwraps the bandages. And there is this very soft, there's no harshness to her movements. Like, this is a doctor almost examining, but not in a scientific way, in a worried way. More like maybe like a mother attending to a child who's hurt their knee or something like that. Like, she turns it over, gently sort of squeezes in areas just to see if there's reactions.
Can I ask how you're able to resist this so well?
It is green dragons. We are connected to life, but also to dreams and hope. And there is not much for the crown steel, as I understand it. I have only learned a little. It tends to affix itself to certain desires, certain emotions. It is why that in the Oriat insurrection, although I was not born yet, I have studied history, it was primarily gold, bronze, a few red dragons and a few black dragons, a few blue. The silver and the green dragons were not as affected by the lure of it as much. Galvasar struggled to convert many of my ancestors to his side, because there is not much for the crown steel to lure us with. But there is also a personality element to it. There are reasons why not all of the gold dragons joined Galvasar, because not all of them desired the same things that he did. I have no ambitions for power or influence. I just want to help people. And I wish to help heal them, whether it is a physical sickness or a mental sickness. I wish to heal the land. I feel very connected to the animals and the plants of this world, to Altheya. But perhaps it is just willpower. Perhaps it is I am not of as much interest to the Carrion Steel. I am not a useful servant for it, perhaps. This, and she holds out your hand, it is progressing, but slowly. You are still early in the stages of corruption. Sir Eldrak is maybe twice, 3, 4 times what you are at. I mentioned to Lady Amberissa that there is a way to revert this process, to heal the sickness, the corruption. There are spells that can do it. These spells are normally used to cure diseases or poisons, magical ailments, curses, that sort of thing. It seems to work on Crown Steel as well, corruption.
To remove all that's happened to my arm, or just delay it?
It would... I'm not sure if we would be able to save your arm. Perhaps it is still early. It may go back to how it once was. But it would also... Think of it as a poison running through your system. The arm is an immediate effect, yes, but it will also affect your mind and your heart as well.
No.
As it does, the poison lingers. The spell thins it until it is gone. Now, it cannot remove too much corruption at once. To do so can be deadly. To remove too much corruption in one go could cause your body too much, put too much pressure on your body, on your mind. It can tear you apart from the inside. It is why I cannot, it will take me months, if not years, to heal Sir Eldrak, but it will in time. But it is costly. It requires vast amounts of magical ingredients to perform this spell. I only carried enough with me to cast it once, when you were first able to subdue Sir Eldrak in the cavern.
Okay.
But with you, with this magic containing the shard, I do not think this magic will work on you. Not until that can be taken away. It might work, but it would quickly come back.
So I need to remove the shield that's protecting everyone else from my crown steel.
And the shard itself, which would be dangerous medically as well. There are spells that can regenerate. Looking at your chest, I think that there may be damage to your lungs and heart that are being kept going by the crown steel. But there are spells to regenerate that sort of damage. But you would need to have the shard removed first before those spells would have an effect. And the shield as well.
I don't suppose you know of any safe ways to keep my body going.
There are potions, boons, trinkets that may be able to help, but ultimately, whatever this magic that is shielding the shard, protecting others from it, but also keeping it trapped within you, that I do not know anything about. Until that is removed, my guesses are only limited.
I don't believe I have any control over the shield itself. It's my magic, sure, but it's untouchable by me from what I can understand. And I'll be honest, I haven't really wanted to tempt fate with it.
No, I understand that. You may find, though, that it is your magic. It is likely an automatic response from your mind and body wanting to contain this thing. It is subconscious. You could perhaps learn to control it in time, but you would need to dedicate yourself mentally to override that desire. It would be like trying to tell your heart to stop beating or your lungs to stop breathing. You can hold your breath, but eventually your body will desperately want to take a gasp.
Do you know what will happen to my body if I got rid of this protection? Would the corruption spread faster, or...?
No, I don't think the corruption would spread faster, no. I think that it is spreading through you at a steady rate. Normally, one needs to either ingest or be in a close proximity of crown steel to be mutated and corrupted by it, but you are carrying it with you every day. It is like you are sleeping next to it every night, carrying a piece of it around your neck. For you, I do not think it would spread more quickly, but it would, without this shielding, affect others,
I see.
those close to you. I just wish to share what I have learned and what I guess. I'm still new to all of this myself. I learned a little, but only what I was taught early age, and then what I saw with the Reclaimers, what I have managed to deduce on my own. But should you find yourself, if this shield is disabled, and you can gather the reagents, I will heal you as best I can.
I appreciate that, and for your honesty. What is this spell, out of interest?
It is a modified. There is a spell that is commonly called Greater Restoration,
Okay.
but this is a sort of modified version of it that is known to the Green Dragons. I can teach it to Penelope, and perhaps in time I could teach it. Your friend Rowan seems to have a strong connection with the land, as does Gruffith. I think I could teach it to the two of them in time. It is a variant on it.
But it's mainly the material cost.
It requires vast amounts of diamond dust, but also other rare ingredients as well. Medicinal plants used to purge toxins and disease. And normally something clear and pure. I, for example, used magical water that is gathered in Mistwald.
Okay.
But seek me out when you are in the place, perhaps when this spell can help you.
Thank you. I apologize from keeping it from you, but I'm sure you understand.
Why? Of course. You do not need to apologize, little cousin. It is... You are trying to protect yourself, and it is a danger. And Lord Obsidius, I do not like the way that he looks at you or I, but he is right that crown steel is a terribly dangerous thing, and that there are powerful forces and people out there who will stop at nothing to get it. The piece that you carry, I think, it's a very pure piece. That makes it very strong. Be careful, little cousin.
I'm doing the best I can, and thank you for all of your assistance.
Of course. Now, let us get us back to our friends.
God damn it. God damn it.
She starts walking back with you.
Yeah, I'll stay out for a bit, just a little bit longer, just to absorb it all and...
Sure, she'll if you want to be on your own, she'll leave you on your own for a little bit. She makes her way back to the camp. What's everyone else up to? Anything anybody else wants to do?
Rowan's tucking into the supplies, seeing if he can rummage together non-Kraus steel infused foods to kind of make up for.
Well, you brought you put a bunch in Rodri, right? Now you have the wagon back. You can absolutely
So
put
I'm,
a little meal together.
trying to rekindle that,
Okay.
kind of get the spirits lifted a little.
Okay, sure. Give me a roll, like a cook's tools roll. So this would be proficiency plus intelligence or wisdom.
All right. 13 plus. Let's go with wisdom. 15.
And then plus your proficiency on top.
18.
18. That's actually pretty good. You put together. What kind of food do you want to put together? What is this? Like
It's going to be a stew.
A stew?
Just kind of for
Bridge
everybody
4
knows.
stew.
Bridge 4 stew. I don't know where I got the name from.
Rock
but
stew. Yep. Yeah, you put together a beautiful stew using maybe you've got veg because it's been traveling for a long time. There's probably a lot of the perishable stuff that you had is no good. But you probably had some dried mushrooms. You find some local kind of herbs and spices. Maybe some potatoes, things that could last a fairly decent journey. And then maybe some grains, maybe not quite a risotto, but you put some sort of grains that swell up with the juices and add a nice bit of texture, almost like a meaty tuber or something like that goes in there and stuff as well. And yeah, you make a wonderful stew for the evening. Everybody can have 5 temporary hit points that will last until you basically have another long rest, which is let's say you cook this each night. Basically.
Yeah, we already had 10 from the bards.
And 10's enough, and you still got 10. So there is no effect, but it's very nice.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. So yeah, you actually have 10.
Not as good as a story.
Well, that was a mystical magic story from a magic man, a magic elf.
From also bought.
Mothman.
Mothman. Trapstick.
Mothman can't breathe. Oh no.
Trapstick. It's a reference to the Mothman movie, which I've seen like twice, and for some reason that scene sticks in my
It's
head.
okay, the 3 Mothman fans.
Yeah.
They're loving this. Hell yeah.
Rainy's like, yeah. Anyway, you cook a lovely stew. It's a lovely evening. Penelope is happily like just tucking into it. So good. Just like happily eating away.
Slow down a little bit. Come on.
Big bowl. Slaps it away.
I'll make more.
You will have a lovely evening with Roman stew. Anything from anybody else?
No.
If not, we will jump ahead a couple of days as you all arrive back in Ashen.
Oh,
Huzzah! We did.
Yes.
gnarly.
Daisy.
I would like to, on the last day as we're going into the city, I want a dog, Mark.
What?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Can I get a little dog, please? I don't want to really advertise it. I feel like this dog is like Daisy's emotional support on the road. It's been a hard time.
Keep in mind, once the dog is summoned, the dog exists.
Yes,
and
I know.
It's like, it doesn't go away again.
Dogs for life.
Yeah.
Dog is for life.
Not just for
I'm
travel.
aware we're getting close to home again.
Okay. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is because, like, the items, all that's registered is that you can create a dog using this little magic medal. I like to imagine that when it's as you think, what is the first breed of dog?
Sausage dog.
All right, it is a small, a Wurst hound, Wurst hund.
It's like a long hair one.
Yeah, like a
A
curly.
long
Draft
hair.
excluded.
Yeah.
I'm on.
But it has to be big enough that, like, 'cause it has stats and it can fight, so it's not like a tiny sausage dog. It would be like a fairly chunky big one.
No, it
What's
doesn't
like
need
an
to be
Altheyan
sturds.
sausage dog, I suppose.
Yeah, it would be an Altheyan sausage dog.
He's not gonna fight.
Okay, all right, fine. All right, in that case, if he's not, because you can have him fight, is the point.
He's just my friend.
Right, in that case, it is a tiny sausage dog.
I'm just gonna hide it in my bag.
Give us some
for now.
battle
All
armor.
right, okay.
I love my sausage dog.
How good is Gruff's sense of smell?
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 17.
Yeah, you definitely notice Daisy's got a dog. Like, as you're walking along, like, you probably notice Daisy's bag, like, wiggling quite a lot, and, like, a little bit of fur sticks out of, like, the flap.
Does anyone else smell?
No, I cleaned recently.
Or was it me? I don't want it to be me. It better not be me.
It's probably me.
It's sorry.
None of you have bathed in quite some time.
God, why don't you check, Gruff?
Like, it's been
Rowan, put
at
it down.
least 7 days since you left, because you all got a nice clean when you went in the water.
Oh, true, yeah.
But it's been 7 days since then, so you
Oh,
basically...
we've gone past a river on the way into Ashen's Rest, though.
Is it cold?
I've been face
You could
down
have,
in
the
that
last
river
day
for
before
about
Ashen Rest,
15
you could go have a little dip in the river.
Yeah, Philly would wash.
Do you think we should
Yeah.
do something about him?
He's fine.
Do you think he's alright?
He's just emotionally regulating right now.
By dying, I think.
Right, if the bubbles stop, we're getting him.
Yeah, like the last day as you pass the river, you can, like, the river is used, like people do go and, like, wash clothes and stuff.
Cannonball!
Huge waterway.
Yeah, he's
Penelope's like,
tidal wave.
I just face down in the river to face down on the dirt.
There was a lake here, right?
It's now just like this tiny. No. It is the Ruby River is actually a massive river, and it's quite fast moving. So it's probably the kind of thing of like you can wash in it, but you can't just like chill it. Right? Like it's like Renza, you have to run after Xanthus like pull it.
Remember when you pulled me from the river? That was just yesterday. We washed. Anyway, do I smell? No,
But
of course I don't.
the Ruby River also has like barges that go up and down it quite a lot, and it travels a lot of the trade.
Knocked about, face down.
Well, you can still go and buy it, but it's like what I'm saying is it's not like a little tiny river, right?
Not peaceful.
Yeah,
It's not relaxing.
When I broke both my legs going down the river.
And I had to fish you out.
It's like lying down on a motorway.
it's a little bit like that. Yes. Yeah.
Remember when I died off screen?
A river motorway.
25.
That's how
River
it kills you
M25.
off screen, yeah.
Maybe not the M25, but like a busy A road.
Okay.
You know, like a 2-lane busy A road, right? But yes, so you do manage to get a bit of a clean. As you are sort of nearing Ashen's Rest, Gruff, you notice the wiggling in the bag.
Yeah, to answer the question, no, we don't smell.
Daisy, do you have something you'd like to share with the group?
Secrets? Daisy, how could you?
What is that, Daisy?
Someone's shoes squeaked.
I can hear a tiny heartbeat.
Why do you hear the heartbeat? That's really creepy.
A little bit of like fur flops out and it's like going back and forth.
Where did
I
you
rolled a
find
1 on its stealth, by the way.
Where did you find it?
What is it?
This Stuart.
Is it a fire? What's it called?
Firestone?
Fire stove.
He's got a
looks a little
little
different.
orange ribbon tied around him to match the ribbons that Daisy has. The Stuart.
You didn't get that from the Ash Hills, did you?
Got it from the coat.
Rowan bursts out crying. He collapses.
He's dead.
It's just overwhelming for Rowan.
Are you keeping that for food?
Whoa! Ophelia!
I'm just wondering why you'd have a small furry Daisy-sized
Friend!
Wait, you got that from the coat?
Okay.
Yeah.
You used one of the things?
Yeah.
Coat dog.
I needed it, okay? I needed it! It's been a hard time.
Can I pet him, please?
He's really nice.
It's so soft. Stuart
Stuart.
is very
Oh,
soft.
good little puppy. Oh my god.
Can we keep him forever?
We're keeping him. It's not an option.
We need to find a
It's
spell.
okay though
We don't
because
know
he
how to
can
look
fit in
after
my
him.
bag.
He is incredibly precious. I love him.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
Giant, like 8-foot dragon lady. He's like, oh.
Do you have enough food for him?
Yes, we do.
I get out all my snacks that I've been carrying, just like lint.
And we're almost home, and then he can be home and he can stay in the inn.
Are you walking him every day?
Yeah.
Look at his little legs.
Only small. His legs are like this big.
Wait, how long have you had him? Have you been training him?
Yeah.
With what? Like,
Where have you been keeping his
It's going to take
leavings? The animals do little leavings, don't they?
Yeah, along the way, it's fine.
Oh, a trail.
I mean, Daisy's stealth's good enough that she probably just slips off every now and then and nobody notices and like
I've been
walks
walking this dog for like 2 days.
So that's where you've been going, sneaking off and then coming back.
You didn't notice. Don't pretend you noticed.
No, I'm not pretending. I'm not slick.
Stuart's fine.
face down in
Stuart's
the
been
river.
having a really nice time.
First Rodri, now Stuart.
We can talk to Stuart.
We could talk.
Not today. It's probably too much excitement.
it's probably far too early for Mark to come up with an entire character. for
If
this
you would
scene.
like
I do know
to
how.
speak to the dog, you can do whatever you like. That's the beauty of this game, and my burden as the dungeon master.
Druid
Dog
2024 now has speak with animals at all times, so.
Yeah, Darren X, that's nice. World law building, great. Anyway, Stuart.
And how are we spelling Stuart just out of interest?
Yeah, you got to have a fantasy spelling. That's the only rule. It's got to be like S-T-Y.
S-T-apostrophe-A-R-T.
Stuart.
And Ophelia fan art that.
How does he react to
eating
a
that?
big line man?
This dog is the chillest dog.
Well,
Like, he does not care.
how does a big cat react to a dog?
Airplane ears.
You're like doing the sideways hops.
Back just arches.
Gruff kind of looks down at it.
I pull my neck.
You right there, pal?
There's been an injury at the table.
What is wrong with you?
I'm a certified first aider. Do you want me to do some first aid?
Oh no, we're gonna have to. High Rollers is gonna have to pay out for that.
Nah.
Have you been injured at work?
Does HR have an HR department?
Cool, injury lawyers for you.
I peed too hard.
Stop making her laugh. You're gonna make her neck worse.
How did you injure yourself? I did a cat impression at a D&D table.
I role played too
I
hard.
did it. I was like being a cat, and my neck just like went.
Oh dear.
Carry on.
Can you roll it? Like, yeah.
No, she's done. She's done. That's who she is.
Most professional stream.
She injured herself playing D&D.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're getting old, dude.
I know.
Yeah, how old are you?
Rolling a dice.
I RP too hard today, guys.
Too hard.
Sure, let me just check my stick.
I gotta take 2 weeks off work, guys. I roleplayed too hard.
What was the situation pretending to be an angry cat?
Are you okay? You okay?
I pulled a muscle.
Do we need to sign you off work?
I'm fine.
Do you need to work from home?
Yeah, guys, I have to do
Real unfortunately had to retire.
Get some Tiger Balm or a heat pad. She'll be.
Can I get a neck brace? Then next week.
No, we'll get you a dog cone.
Yeah. I think dog cone is more, yeah.
Oh my god.
Right. Anyway.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh,
so
God.
Thanks to the real roll.
Gruff looks at this fucking dog. Just, there's a moment. And then he just starts sneezing furiously.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
see,
I love that. Yeah. Do you want to? How bad is it? Is it like ration, like hives, or is it just sneezing? Like
I don't know, should I roll
sinuses?
for it?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, give us a roll.
Also, that was
if you
not a
get in
dad
that
sneeze.
one, you are like deathly allergic. Two. You're not deathly allergic, but it is like your
My eyes
nose
are-
is dripping. Your eyes. I'm gonna say you have disadvantage on like any checks.
Wow. Wow. Can I not?
Because your eyes are swelling up, like you're watering, like you itch, like under your fur, you're like really itchy.
Use some antihistamine
You said, should you roll for it? You did.
as a potion.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, there'll be like you can go to an alchemist and get like anti-allergy stuff.
For that time, he just got out the demon gun and was like,
But which one are you pointing
well,
Who are you
I'm
pointing
sorry
at?
to this, Gruff.
The group has chosen the tiny dog.
Totally right.
We've only had this dog for like 3 minutes, but I will kill everyone in this room and then myself.
I understand.
sorry, Gruff, I'll keep him over here. I'll keep him over here.
Maybe in time you'll build up an immunity to it.
With a 2?
Yeah, it'll take a while. But yeah, you.
Can you make him speak, though? So we can ask him how he is.
Not right now, Daisy.
He can't even open his eyes right now.
It's just like
It's just affected you so quickly.
So puppy.
She pulled the dog out and you immediately just... Very flashback.
you say, "Daddy can't see." Jesus Christ!
You know what's funny, Griff? He's been sleeping like right next to you for 2 days now.
I thought I was getting a cold.
This is it. This is the point when it's just all affected.
What is this?
Lady Verithera will cast like Cure Wounds, which like gives you like a few hours reprieve. It's like,
Oh, I can breathe again.
it's like having a menthol. It's like a big hit of menthol. You're like, oh, I can breathe and see.
Sweet
Cure wounds, also known as Albus oil.
The size of this dog compared to Rowan's probably pretty hilarious, right?
Yeah, it's tiny compared to Rowan.
So you're gonna lay it.
Stuart loves it though. He loves the big heavy pet.
Oh yeah, STU or STW?
W. S-T-E-W.
STEW.
A-R-T.
Oh, a stew.
A stew art, like Rowan
Stew.
too.
Yum yum.
No.
My favourite.
Ophelia sees it and immediately.
Fast food. Anyway, you.
What fun!
This all happens on the last kind of day as you're making your way back into Ashen Rest. You head through the city gates. What you would probably do is, because you bought this wagon, didn't you?
Yeah.
You bought Rodri. You've actually bought him
Bought that
first.
sweet
But
boy.
there's no way for you to store. Like, you can't house him at the inn. There's no space.
We
for
can.
We can mix.
We can gut out the shrine.
I think
No,
Didn't
there's
we
not
have
enough
a
space for him to
discussion-
live there.
I thought we had a discussion
We
when
were
we
gonna-
bought it that we could store it at the place.
That is exactly
and
it. I was
then
going to say.
we can go back
And the same
and
with the
see it.
wagon, right? You can store both of those things at the little farm, at the little stables. You drop them all off. You probably would have to, with Sir Eldrak, basically, maybe Lady Emberissa takes care of this. Is a case of hi, stable boy. Here's a lot of gold. Don't look in the wagon. Just leave it there. Don't worry about it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Just look after Rodri, but don't look in the wagon.
Don't let anyone go near it.
So there's probably an arrangement that can be made there.
And I'll know.
Yeah. And you guys make your way back. And as you turn down the street, heading back towards your home, it is the first time that as you're making your way there, the roof has been fixed. The windows have all been repaired. The shutters have been
There
fixed.
are windows.
did carry on working good.
It is all the works that have been requested, the room, the internal changes, everything has been done to your specification.
Amazing.
And I believe that a new sign is currently hanging outside as well. I don't think we decided on an image for the sign though.
No, we
just the name.
No,
So for now
it's
there is
Comic
maybe
Sans
space for a sign, like a symbol or a piece of art if you'd like one.
It's Tyria.
But for now, in beautiful, sort of calligraphic, beautiful kind of illustrative font, Tyria's Rest.
Yeah.
With a little space under it that if you wanted to add something, like maybe Daisy could paint something on there or something like that. But there are new, they are not magical lights, they are sort of normal oil lanterns, like sconces outside. The iron fence has been repaired the whole way around, it's been cleaned. And when you step up to the door, looking inside through the windows, you can see a beautifully lit interior. Everything has been polished, repaired, creating a lovely downstairs single-room tavern, basically. You can see Teresa is sat in a lovely plush armchair by a little fireplace, and she's reading books. And she's just happily sitting there reading books, doesn't notice that you guys are back yet. You can see that the shrine is still adjacent to it. Everything has been patched up, and the inn is now lovely and fixed, providing you with a beautiful, beautiful home.
Very nice. Finally.
It's beautiful.
As you are making your way back there, Obsidius probably flew back to Ashen Rest after he left you on the road. Verithera will basically be attended to as a guest. That's Stuart. That's good. lovely little Stuart. Verithera will be attended as a guest of Emberissa's at the Dominus Ignarum, but she probably would ask, could Penny come and stay with you at your place, basically, because she doesn't want her to be overwhelmed. So you still have Penny with you.
What might be quite nice is if
borrow
we're
it from Percival.
we're trying to play it down and say, I'm so sorry if it's in a bit of disrepair, the roof is damaged. Oh, wait a second.
Whoa, this looks amazing! What are you talking about?
Did the repairs?
Wait, the spooky ghost lady that you were telling me about, she's not still here though, right? She's not here anymore?
No, she's gone.
Okay, good. Ghosts are really scary. I couldn't be sleeping in a haunted place. That'd be too frightening.
Do you like pastries?
Yeah?
Do you like coffee?
What's coffee?
Hot chocolates?
Really?
I love chocolate, but I don't know what a coffee is.
Well, we'll have to go try, won't we?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
We should get sponsored by a latte fund.
For just being a customer.
It's just
Do they have a loyalty card?
do you like pastries? Have I got the place for you?
You can certainly, you can see Maeve is bustling. It's probably about midday, so it's quite busy. But she sort of sees you as it's like, oh, hey, darlings, come on in. And she kind of waves you down to come in and, you queue up, buy some pastries, buy some coffee.
Your neighbor's not an eyesore anymore.
Yeah, she will. Hang on, give me a minute.
Irish.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. How you doing? How you doing? What you doing there? Maybe. I know it's a beautiful sight now, isn't it? I can't believe it. You've had workers in there for the last few days.
Yes.
It's beautiful. That lass that you've got in there, Teresa, she's lovely as well. Kept coming in every morning, reads her little books, buys a few things, gets a few sandwiches and things like that. She's lovely.
Great.
That's good to hear.
Should go catch up.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you going to be opening a tavern or something there as well? I saw the sign outside.
Yeah, you're going down. No, don't say that.
I was going to suggest that maybe we could come to some sort of
We're
arrangement
gonna absorb you.
where I could sell some of my goods there. You know, I'll bring it to the trip, but then you can split the revenue or something like that. You get a small cut for selling them on my behalf or something like that, and I can give you
Permanent pastry supply.
little coffees. You have to, but it's your supply. You can't eat your own supply, dear. That's the first thing you learn.
Bring extra.
I mean, I can throw in some extras in that in the morning. But yeah, I can bring those over and you can sell those to any customers and things. Once you've got things up and running, of course.
Didn't even think about business, but yeah, I guess.
Well, if you're going to have a tavern, you got to be thinking about business and things like that. I just saw the sign. It looks, I mean, I don't know. Are you going to do a tavern or
We haven't
I
really
mean-
decided yet.
We just wanted the
Maybe.
place fixed.
spick and span?
Yes.
Somewhere we can actually live comfortably.
If that comes up, if that is something you decide to do, I'm sure that there's people around here. But enjoy your lovely new home. I tell you what, I've put in a lovely banana bread in there for free. Think of it as a
Banana bread?
treat.
Hell yeah.
Too good to us, mate.
Hell yeah.
All of Xanthias's worries and fears. He's like, Crown Steel Obsidian? I got banana bread, bro.
It's cured. It's cured. The bounty.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Sorry, it's fantasy.
Not getting
Hell's-
thanks for the
yeah.
work you
Hell's
do. Hell no. But banana bread, dude.
Hell yeah!
That's a weird energy to say. With that,
Can we go to break?
that is going to be the end of part 1. Banana bread, bro, hell yeah, it's going to be the end of part 1. Thanks very much, everybody. We will see you in part 2. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Welcome back to part 2 of Altheya, the Dragon Empire. Our heroes have made it back to Ashen Rest. Big conversations were had on the road with Obsidius and Emberissa. Truths revealed about Sir Eldrak and Emberissa's connection, shall we say. There was conversations about Crown Steel, what to do in the future, as well as perhaps a glimmer of hope. For those who one day will need to be healed of such things, and of the land itself as well.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out who that was referencing.
Oh, well, we'll find out, won't we? As you make it back to Ashen Rest, a dog has been spawned. Summoned.
dog!
There's a dog now, summoned by a magic button. And we find ourselves
I
back
should have called him Button.
at the...
No,
You can change
Too
it.
late. No.
Okay.
His name is
Stuart.
Stuart now.
Stuart.
You
dare you.
find yourselves back at the newly renamed Tyria's Rest, your home residence in Ashen Rest.
I was thinking about that actually, not to dampen the enthusiasm for such a wonderful new place, but is Tyria at rest?
Is this Xanthias or Tom? asking?
Xanthias.
Yeah,
I'm like at the sign, like,
You saw the ritual, right? That she's going to be in a better place with people that can support and help her rather than tormenting or
Well-
being tormented.
yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Ophelia's like, yes, of course.
Have a croissant. I put a croissant in his mouth.
She made a choice.
There you go.
She's happy with that choice. I helped her make that choice, but she's made that choice.
Okay, good. Okay, all right.
I
Glad we're on the
gently
same
nudged
page.
her towards that choice, but she did it on her own.
I pushed her through that mirror. It's fine.
Tasty.
I'm just saying, what if we just called the place Tyria's Gone?
It's not the same ring, is it?
No, you're right.
When you step inside, little Teresa, the gnome artificer that you helped rescue, was like, oh, kind of shocks and surprise at somebody coming in, no, we're not open. Oh, it's you. Oh, you're back. And sort of puts the books down, oh, thank goodness you're all back. how was your trip?
Oh, well,
Arduous.
it was a long one.
Well, at least you get to come home to a nice place.
It looks so
it
lovely.
looks
They've done a
very
wonderful
good.
job.
They
All the
really
Carpenters
have.
Guild and the Blacksmiths Guild, and everyone's done an absolutely fabulous job.
Wait, is the roof? They fixed the roof, right?
Everything's fixed. Yep, the roof it's been dry. We've had a little bit of rain, and it's been wonderful inside. And
Gonna get rained on. I think I might cry.
I hope it's all right. I've had the fire going. It's been a little chilly, but I just they told me that I should light the fire a few times to get the chimney and the flume properly done and everything. And
No.
That would be nice, right?
Magnificent job, Teresa.
Tell me more about the fire, Mark.
I know it's very cold in the studio right now. But yes, she's just like, well, I was happy to look after the place for you.
thank
Sister
you.
Ophelia, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, Teresa.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you
of course.
very much.
No, it's been my pleasure, really, honestly. It's actually been lovely the last sort of 10 days, just sort of having the place just let my mind sort of catch up with things, really. I'm feeling a lot better for it. So, no,
Well,
thank you
hopefully-
for letting me
Hopefully
stay.
we won't ruin that.
Why would you?
I wanna piss
what's
Stuart
going
down.
to happen?
Nothing. I'm just, we're here now.
Piss
And-
Stuart on the floor.
Hello, little fella.
This is Stuart.
Hi, and he's just like,
You can explore if you would like. Imagine the
Don't
sound
let
of
him-
tiny feet just being like,
Don't let him pee on anything or do what dogs do.
Why not? It's his home.
Is it?
Marcus' territory. And then he's here forever.
Well, he's got the garden and all the place out there to do that. It's not in here. This is all
Okay,
clean and
Mum.
fresh. I'm just saying. I'm not
He
trying
can't go in
to.
the shrine.
I'm not trying to.
He's not in the
gruff
shrine.
this.
He's fine. I'm just saying. Well, not until he's trained.
he's perfectly fine.
Percival will just he kind of enters in and immediately heads towards the shrine. Percival's like, yep, job to do.
Ah, good old Percy.
Yeah, Teresa would probably be like, hello, Percival. He just sort of like looks.
Teresa, we spoke.
What?
Me and Percival, we had a conversation.
How is that possible?
There was a spell, and we could converse. Daisy cast a spell, and
Marvelous.
it was amazing.
Do you want me to do it again?
How curious, because
Maybe
I thought,
later.
but wouldn't Percival just? I thought you sort of named him and gave him personalities, a bit of thing. But surely it's just a mindless sort of animated bones, isn't it?
No, he's quite.
He says that we're friends.
But is it like the former person whose bones? Is it their soul? Is their soul trapped in the bones?
He's Percy.
This is what I was worried about.
He's Percy. Percy is.
But is Percival the person who's? Is that their bones? Are they trapped in them? Is their soul being tormented?
God, it's not that deep, bro.
We did disrupt the rest.
Yeah.
Percy is just Percy as Percy is. Bones are bones. Percy is Percy.
Okay, Percy is Percy. Bones are bones.
Yes.
You see her mind sort of trying to like work the engineer mind, being like, but how?
Bones serve Percy's purpose.
But don't let us interfere with your rest, and
Look, Doug.
you can go back to your good book.
I got you a hot
Well,
chocolate.
now that you're, well, thank you very much. She's not that small. She's not that small. She takes the coffee, which is maybe a little big in her hands, but
Sorry, podcast.
I mind that I was holding a big cup.
Giant.
Funny joke. No, she will say, well, no. Now that you're back, I'll go back to, I have been looking for a little place to live, because obviously I don't really want to go back to the tower and the Illuminators Guild. I don't want to go back to that. The Illuminators Guild, or whatever they're calling themselves now, the Illuminators or the Engineers, I don't know. But I found a little place. It's above a bookshop up in the northern part of the town. I'm just going to move in there, and now that you're back, I can get on with that. So no, I'll leave you to it. You probably want to rest after your arduous journey, and so but it's lovely to see you again. And as always, you can come and visit me anytime. I'll stop by from time to time, and I'd still like to talk about
Yes.
the Grey Father and the beliefs and things like that. Sister Ophelia,
Of course,
will you
yes.
do another sermon at some point?
I'd love to, yes. I'm going to rest, get my things
course,
together,
yes.
and maybe I would like to start writing a book. Writing passages to start spreading, the word around?
Oh well, the little the little bookshop, the Tombs and Co printing company that I'm above. I'm sure that they're a printing house.
wonderful.
They have like a little printer and things like that in there. So
If you'd like to study and help, you're more than
I
welcome
can help you
to.
if nothing. I can certainly help you.
That would be a
Sophia.
great help.
And I'll definitely stop by if you let me know when your next sermon is. I'll come by.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
I would like to learn a little bit more. It's a little spooky, but I think that there's some good messages there, and then things that I want to learn more about. So
Of course, yes.
All right, very good. Well, have a good day, everybody. Lovely to see you. I'm glad you're all well and in good health. Yes. She kind of sees like you in your like basic shirt, Xanthus, all of your clothes, having like.
I know. I'm going to buy new clothes. It's honestly, it's embarrassing.
Well, no, it's not embarrassing at all. But I'm sure that have you ever been up to? There's a lovely place up in the up in another part of the city, the Nyx's place, the Mystiques.
Yes, we have been there before. I think we got some clothes for the party, maybe.
Oh, you should go there. I've heard such good things. And
Yes.
you're quite well known in Ashen Rest now. I'm sure that they'd be more than happy to outfit a hero of the towns.
Oh, I very much intend to get some new clothes, and I look disgusting, don't I?
It's more that you are so used, like you are just wearing like a simple stained shirt now, like and you've got the bandages wrapped around your arm and things like that. So it's like you are not in your usual state.
When she mentioned Tombs and Co.,
Yes.
I would have sauntered over. I want to see what book she's reading. Is she reading His Majesty's Scepter?
No, she's not. No.
Okay, good.
No, she's reading a series of. It's like a mixture of things. There's like books on engineering, books on magic, and then like maybe a couple of fiction books that she's like gathering up, and they're detective novels of an investigator, a magical investigator.
Sweet.
Thank you for looking after the place.
No, it's my pleasure, really, honestly. It was lovely to spend some time and to get my feet settled and everything else. So, and she sort of brushes up her big pink hair and she's like, all right, well, I'll leave you to it then. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Teresa.
Hi.
Like, has to reach up. She's a gnome. She's still small.
yeah.
She's like
Let
3
her
feet
do it.
tall.
Yeah, she's got it.
We were not inclusive to include like gnome,
Gnome-sized handle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe you could have like a smaller handle slightly lower down for halflings and
Double
gnomes.
handle, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite a common thing because halflings are quite common in Cauldra. So I imagine that most businesses have like it's not like a full doorknob, but it's like a little tiny handle that's just like for anyone. Who
No,
can't
but what I'm
reach.
saying is we purposely said no.
You purposely were like, no, we don't want
We were
that.
short people.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah. Dwarves and taller.
Anything
basically.
Kim-sized, no.
Yeah.
Not even kobold
5 feet
size.
minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
yeah,
So
Teresa leaves it
how furnished is this place? Sorry.
It's literally what you asked for. So it is. Each of you now have an individual room. The first 3 rooms up on the first floor are individual rooms. All of them have been decorated to your specifications. I don't know if you guys had actually picked who was going to go where. I do have some schematics somewhere. And then you have on the top floor, which was Tyria's bedroom, that's now being converted into, I believe, 2 rooms. So there is a room for each of you, basically. There are 5 bedrooms, and then you have the cellar, which is now, it's cleaned, it's just been turned into a basic room. It's just like a stone plain room. You have the kitchen out the back of the inn, and then you have the main inn on the ground floor, basically. And yeah, there are like beds, wardrobes. I believe some of you wanted specifics that you've been added. Ophelia had like a little station for like crafts and things like that, I think.
Writing books.
Writing books, yeah, like a writing desk and a closet for all your outfits. So it's really whatever you guys want, really, to within the limits of like nothing extravagant or expensive or like magical.
Sure.
Like this is like general furnishings, basically. But it is very comfortable. Like it is warm. It is well made. All of the windows have like nice, thick, pretty glass. This is Cauldra. People don't just do like woodwork and glasswork normally. The windows have like little flourishes in the corners. The wood, the bottom of the banister of the stair has been properly shaped into like a draconic head and things like that. Like little details, because this is Cauldra. People take pride in their work here. So everything's been done just to that little extra standard.
Nice.
There's probably like nice new curtains on the insides, drapes and things like that. All of the bedroom windows have curtains as well as shutters. Maybe some little flower boxes outside on the front, especially where like you could plant some little flowers and things like that. The garden has been tidied after the events of the haunted tree and things like that. The garden has sort of been tidied, the bushes trimmed down to create this very lovely little like green space out the back. Not large, but big enough that you could build, one of the options is you could build another building in the garden, basically. It would be like a shrine or a nature spot or something like that you could build.
Is the tree still there?
Did you want it to be there? That's the question.
We took wood from it, so...
It kind of collapsed and like you left with a necrotic piece of wood. So I would probably say that my default would be it's not there.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
I don't want it
I
there.
asked for a pond. I'm sure I asked for a pond.
Yeah, if you ask for it, it's there.
Yeah.
So anything you asked me for is there. So that would be part of the garden. It's like a little pond. It's not massive. It's probably I don't think there'd be any fish in it yet. But you have a little pond, little space.
I asked for a PS5.
In fact, actually, with the pond, I don't know if Gruffith would want this, but because there is like a natural hot spring that Ashen's Rest is built on. They could have had it so that it's funneled from that, so it would be like a little hot spring, or you could have it as a cold water pond for fish and stuff like that.
All the fish are boiled.
Exactly. You would have one or the other. So,
What would Gruff want?
I think
WWGW.
Gruff would... I actually think he'd want a little cold water pond.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, that can be done.
A little touch of home.
Little morning ice bath too.
Yeah, I mean, it's very healthy for you, firms up the skin and like...
Cold water. Well, this is a pond. You probably don't want to bathe in it, but yeah.
Watch me.
But yeah, that's what you have. So your building doesn't have like a bathhouse or anything like that. So it would be, and this is typical for most cauldron buildings here. You would go to the temple, the House of the Rose, and use the public baths. That's what most people in cauldron do. Only the super rich have their own like private baths and stuff here. But yeah. But apart from that, yeah, it's a lovely space for you to decorate and do with as thou wishes.
Okay. And is it suitable now if we decided to open up as a tavern, for example, provided we had the staff?
Well, that's exactly it. You would, if you want to set it up as a business, you're going to need several things. You're going to need somebody to run it. You're going to need workers, like waiting staff and things like that. You're going to need stock. Like basically make an arrangement with a local brewer or somebody like that to provide you with stuff.
Okay.
If you can get those things, you can open it as a tavern and then you will passively earn income from the place.
And then we start gobbling.
Depends on how much. What I will probably do is each week of game time, I'll roll to see how well the tavern's doing, and like the better staff you hire, the better your roll will be, or like the better your bonus will be, the better like stock you have, the better your roll will be, and then I'll have like a cost of like, well, it costs X amount to run it per week, but then if you make over that, you earn any profits, basically.
Very interesting.
Who do we go to like say, hey, we want to start a tavern? Do we need permission from Ashen's Rest?
You would need a permit.
Yeah, we might need to speak to the Duke.
There might have been one here that we could renew.
Possibly. Might have lapsed, I don't know.
Or just, it might be easier to set up because there was once previously a business here.
It's likely.
Could be.
The main thing would be finding suppliers and then finding staff. Once you can get those two sorted, everything else is like minutia.
Well, we've got coffees, hot chocolates, and pastries, so I think we're good.
There's that cauldron red wine, which is amazing.
Are we talking
where they get
wine or we...
Oh yes, it's wine. I had some at the Grumpy Hog. It was
Okay,
delicious.
that could be, yes, we could find the supplier for that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a local vineyard, like most likely. So it would be probably outside of Ashen's Rest, but somewhere probably in the hills there will be a vineyard, and you just have to go there and make a deal. Like basically be like, yep, we will buy X amount of your stock and get a trade going, basically.
I mean, it is likely to turn...
If you want ale, you need a brewers and stuff like that. There's probably a guild for it somewhere, but...
It's likely to turn what was meant to be a nice, relaxing home for us all into a bustling nighttime location, though. So we do have to think about that as well.
True.
Yes.
Our rooms are going to be directly above only the finest of clientele, of course.
Oh, of course, yes.
Not rowdy, fights and all of that sort of stuff. Not here. Not at Tyria's Rest.
Although if there were fights and, things happened,
Blood was spilled.
blood was spilled, for example, and
Then we have,
Yeah,
we
so-
have our own personal moth.
It would be it would be the kind of thing of, again, like, what kind of reputation do you want to try and encourage? Like, do you want a bouncer? Like, somebody to, like, make sure that there isn't anybody causing trouble. If you don't have a bouncer, it's probably likely that you might have some fights and things like that kick off. Like, I'll just see if there's, like, a random events table and things like that.
Cool.
We can roll for that.
Should we start small?
As in,
One client at a time.
okay,
we all
one
watched
person
them.
entry.
Yes, he's going over there. Yes, good. Okay.
It's like
Seem angry.
It's like 6 staff members watching over that one person at every time.
Yes.
Maybe helping them chew and drink and stuff like that.
Come on now.
Don't choke him back for
I
abuse.
wonder why.
So that's the other thing is this conversation, by the way, is assuming you're just going to do drinks. If you want to do food, you're going to need a cook. And if you want to cook,
Ah, yes.
they're going to be in the kitchen, they're going to work. So a great way to make more money, but it's also going to have more overhead, and you're going to have to hire that person. So it depends on how detailed you want to be with it. You will also get the benefits of, obviously, you won't have to pay for drinks or food if you're here, because you'll just be able to eat here.
Does Cauldron have darts?
It probably has a number of tavern games. You can have darts. Maybe that's not a Cauldron game. Maybe that's a game from elsewhere, but you could sort of import it. Maybe there's an Azar Step or a Yotnir game. Bowling,
about
perhaps.
having a
What's the one that they do in Bristol in the pubs where they have the Skittles? Like,
It's literally skills.
it's just Skittles. You could do Skittles. Like,
A gnarled wooden ball.
yeah. So it could be something like that. You
It
could set
does
something
have
like that.
skills.
There is a little stage, but part of the thing that you had in the pub
Yes.
was there's a little stage by the stairs. So again, you can hire musicians to come in, and they'll probably, in exchange for either you would need to pay them or provide them with room and board. You don't have a spare room, so you would have to pay them. But they will perform that. Will bring in, again, I'll make it like a modifier to a role and stuff like that. I'll figure out a system for it.
Oh, there's so many possibilities of what we can do here.
Or you can just have it as a nice house.
Well, should we speak with the Duke first and see what rewards we get?
We do need to,
Yes.
we do need to go back and meet
Not
up with.
that I'm anticipating us getting a whole other establishment like this again.
But what if though?
Well,
We did save the whole town from corruption. I think it's a bit different.
Do you want to tell them?
we did already speak with Lady Empress as to what our reward would be.
Oh, yes. Which is exactly as follows, Gruff.
Well, as you remember,
Yes,
Rowan.
absolutely.
A lot has happened in
He's
the
going.
3
Look, he's
days
doing it
since.
though. He's going through.
You gotta go back a lot further. Yeah, that was a while ago.
1,000 gold and 2 relics from her collection.
That's what I mean. We need to go get
And then, if you provide the Duke with sufficient
Proof
evidence there was a
of
threat, there's another
threat.
500 gold each.
Yes.
But what if the relic is a building? Just saying.
I don't really want to inherit another building from the Duke.
But what if it's?
May I suggest a little trip to the spa before we go?
Oh, that would be yes. That's very good. I also.
And you need to smarten up, young man.
How dare you?
I'm just saying!
No, you are right. I'm a mess.
I do
Yeah.
want to buy you several sets of clothing as well, so we're not just relying on the one outfit that you're
Yes,
inevitably
no,
going to rip.
yes, yeah. I keep seeming to ruin this stuff. Everywhere we go, there's just acid and fire and scratchy things and bitey things and gnashing things and pulling things and
Most of the biting is Ophelia.
slime and grossness and water. And why can't we just go down just a nice, peaceful country walk? And we just have a great time, and I come back and I'm fresh and I smell of roses. But no, slime and acid and fire and bitey things and all of the aforementioned things, ruining my clothes.
Rowan puts a big old arm around Xanthias. You know why we don't get these luxuries, Xanthias?
No, probably because we're heroes.
Because you're too good a person. That's
don't
right, and we always say yes to people in need, don't we?
Yes,
I
we
punch
say-
him in the
Fuck, ow!
gently.
Yes, I suppose we do.
That's right, we help people, and we've done good things.
We've saved a lot of people.
So a bath,
Yes.
a worthy bath.
Maybe some clothes, then the bath, so that you have something to get into.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Because otherwise you're going to
Fresh
bring those back
clothes
on.
after a bath, nothing's better.
We should go to that place where I got my underwear.
Not that place.
Never again.
Not
They
that
had
place.
so many strange
They
varieties.
No.
did, but
No.
I don't think I'd
No.
like to go back there. No. What was
It's
that
definitely
place?
not a place for you, young'un.
What was it called again?
Okay.
Dungeons and
Not
Dragons?
that young, but okay.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It was fairly eclectic, I must admit.
Was it actually called?
Lots of black and leather.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but.
Yes, it was very you actually. It had chains and.
And then
go
the
the other
lady who was in the
place.
mine as well, who had all that leather stuff
Gruff
on.
is just
yes.
staring into
The one that nearly killed you.
Yes.
Rowan,
Remember that,
sudden
Rowan?
flashbacks of being trapped under the earth.
Remember that room when
So I
you were
didn't even
trapped in the
bring it up, it's
caves?
just coincidental.
Remember when you saw a god who was trying to eat you?
You fought a god.
Have I spoken to the? I can't remember if I spoke
didn't,
to you guys
No, I
about
don't think you did.
I've been
that.
waiting for a moment to bring it up.
Nope.
Because I really wanted to
Oh, well.
bring up that trauma again.
But we're not
Rowan
going
looks off
to.
into the distance.
We're not going to Dungeons and Dragons. I can see Rowan's imagination is going wild, thinking of the
It's a little
possibilities there.
chafy, to be
Little
fair.
chafy. Oh, you're still wearing it?
I don't have any other underwear.
We need to get
we
you
should
some.
Are you
go
not
somewhere
talking?
anyway.
I don't have. What's talc?
Because when you wear things
Chalk
like
dust.
yeah, chalk dust, it stops the chafing.
No.
We need to get you some if you're going to keep
I'm
wearing
red
those.
raw.
Oh God!
I can see the blood trail.
Oh God! No!
Can we move on? What is your plan? Would you like to? Where are you going to get? Are you going to go get clothes first and then go to the House of the Rose? Are you going to go bathe? What would you like to do? Where are you going to get
Otherwise,
clothes?
you're going to dirty the clothes. The disgusting.
No.
clothes.
I don't think
They're-
Nix will let you in.
They're gonna be in a nice bag, ready for me to wear the moment I come out of the bath. So I
Right.
need to go to the place first.
Okay.
They'll understand. They deal with travelers all the time. So I'm gonna go speak to Nix in the
Mystiques.
Mystique, and get some fresh new cauldron appropriate clothing for old Zan.
What reserves do we have?
Oh, I mean, we have a lot of the Duke's sort of.
I have 5 platinum.
For fuck's sake.
I've been holding it for a while.
You
I'm surprised she
Five.
genuinely remembers that, honestly.
I never forget money.
5 plans.
Just all of
Just all the healing potions and all the really important stuff.
Gruff also has a lot of stuff that he wants to go and sell off that we looted from various places.
All right.
Oh, that's a point. We have some stuff in the wagon as well. We got some hides.
Yeah, I was
remember?
going to say. I've got-
Not enough for the bounty.
Do we have
Or
anything
any of
for
the
bounties? I don't
bounties,
think we
actually.
do.
No, none of them.
I've really butchered that wolf.
No, you really tore that thing to
I
pieces.
really did.
Trying to make your
I tried really
There
hard.
you are.
Turns out the easier
Awful
thing to do
hard.
was just to loot,
Yeah.
of
Oh,
which
yeah,
I have 2 ruby and obsidian statues worth 150 gold each, an ornate painting which is worth between 100 and 300 gold, and a chest with 800 gold in it.
Okay, that's that's okay. That's quite a lot. And also, is that taking into account the money we have from the Duke as well that we can just?
No, I still have 1,700.
So another
gold from that.
1,700.
So we'll be fine.
And then your 5 platinum.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I've got a bag of coffee beans.
He's a bag of coffee
We're
beans.
gonna be so rich.
Yeah.
And a ruby.
Oh,
That's doing that.
Don't need that.
I saw a child playing with a rope. So, turns out the yacht near had been throwing them away.
Some giants.
Some giants must have Wayne just want to throw rubies away.
oh, we also have those paintings. Did we mention the paintings?
I
Yes,
mentioned
Gruff.
Just it.
You know, I mean,
Just like less than a minute ago.
I know, but you listed a lot of
Less
stuff
than
at
a
once.
minute
You
ago.
listed a lot of stuff
I listed
at once, and-
3 things.
Do you get it? Kim, do you understand
listed
now? Do you
3
understand
Yeah,
what
no,
it's
you listed
like?
3 things, but I was also thinking about my own inventory, and I only have,
I was thinking about myself.
I was thinking about myself. I have 60 gold. I'll have
Oh.
60 gold.
Just because I don't think it's going to come up today, but I know some people like to keep a track of it. We have not rolled fate today. Some people like to track who rolls what. I don't think it's going to matter, but let's just roll it for
Well,
the
it could be
people
for
that like
bartering.
It
Yeah.
could be.
I'm
Could be.
gonna bart hard.
5.
5.
2 dice for you so far.
1.
For
One.
me, 2 dice for me.
6.
A dice for you.
Damn it.
Sorry.
About even, Steve.
2 dice for me.
Okay.
Look at that.
3 and
3
3.
and
Nice.
3.
No.
3 and 3.
Yes. Yeah, there's 6 of us. Sorry. I forgot.
Yes, hello.
I thought
It's been the same for a while.
the ghost companion is joining the
So-
table.
What's the plan?
Mystiques.
I want to get some new clothes, please.
Everyone going or just them? please?
And then a general trader, I guess, to offload some of our
Trader.
stuff.
Yes, the statues and things like that, you'll be able to find like a jewellery shop or something like that, like a jeweller's or an antiquity store that will probably do that. The paintings are going to be the kind of thing where you can sell them for the lowest price to easily enough. If you want to get the high price, you're going to have to find a buyer for them.
Where were these paintings stored? Because we swam
Under
on
the
The wagon. There was a
they're
long
in
wagon.
there. Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I wrote it on Rodri's
Nice.
wagon.
Kim's
Yeah.
on top of it.
Cool.
They were kept.
Because they were found in the Ashen Citadel in the secret room where you got the coat.
That's right.
Nice. Well, you all make your way to the Duskrise.
Not swim under
District.
that with a chest with 800 gold, a painting and two
so much.
Specifically had a conversation about it as well.
Sorry, Mark. I just...
No, that's fine. You make your way to the Duskrise district. It's about midday. Ashen Rest is busy. It's now been about sort of 2 weeks since the attack on Ashen's Rest. Things are basically getting back to normal. People are just trying to get on with their lives. You can see that there is scaffolding surrounding the Pharos, the tower that used to belong to the Lamplighters Guild. Not really sure what's happening with it, but something's being done. But you make your way up to the Duskrise district. You pass the House of Bindings, the Bright Shadow Cathedral as well, and make your way to a familiar, ornate, beautiful shop just tucked around the corner from the House of Bindings. The outside is beautifully black, rendered in sort of dark woods and obsidian crystal and black-tinted glass, with just a beautiful, illuminated, enchanted sign, Mystique. When you step inside, once again, you enter a world of luxury. Thick, heavy, dark purple and red drapes line the walls. There are mannequins featuring some of the latest cauldron fashions. There's a few new pieces in since the last time you were here. It seems that maybe there is a move to having like short jackets seem to be coming into fashion at the moment. Sort of very short, thick materialed jackets.
Can we get Rowan a crop top?
The crop tops do not seem to be in trend right now.
Crop jacket,
but
crop
you
top.
could get a crop top. I'm sure you can have one custom made.
Daisy, you know this. Your cauldron too. Crop tops are ridiculous.
Crop jacket though.
A crop jacket though.
Crop
Rowan.
jacket, yeah, absolutely.
With crop tops, I don't get why they charge you more money for less fabric.
Because they
Yes,
look
but Ophelia,
good.
come on, look at it.
Oh, it does look
It
good.
does look good.
These are often like embellished with like beautiful like buttons and trim. Rounded, stiff collars seem to be sort of in the new at the moment. Maybe with they seem to be partnered with like tight trousers, like sort of like leggings or jodhpurs, tall boots, sashes.
Rowan in a crop top and like jodhpurs.
Yeah. Hello.
I'm going riding.
Yeah. But yeah, these seem to be in shirts with cravats. Cravats seem to be coming back
That's
in as
very
well.
nice.
The
I like
little
that.
pin as well.
Very nice.
The cravat. I could see you in that, Gruff. But
once again-
you'd look good in a cravat.
The little bell sounds as you make your way in, and you look around. There are mannequins. There's a little desk. There's just nobody in here, or so it seems. And as you're looking, and then suddenly, just out of the shadows, yes!
Okay, yep.
Hello, my
This-
friend. Well, if it isn't the heroes of Ashen Rest.
Well, what can I say? Don't look at me right now. I'm disgusting.
Oh, my dear darling, what did happen?
I
to
know.
you?
Well, we were on an adventure, as we all want to do as the heroes of Ashen Rest. And, we encountered, of course, some gruesome creatures that unfortunately completely destroyed my armor, my clothing, and I had to replace it with what I could find nearby.
Well, if I may say, sometimes I'm a little gracious to the Vault Spawn because a lot of them seem to have the ability to destroy clothing, and it does keep a tailor in business.
Yes, no, I feel like I will be back soon, but hoping to replace my previous equipment and gear with some of your finest wares.
Of course, now given the state of you, you're looking for something off the shelf. I'm assuming something for now.
Oh, well, I mean, to begin with, it looks like a lot of the stuff you have is very in keeping with what I normally wear.
Yes, of course. Yes. But if you want something more bespoke, you could always come back. I'd be happy to design you something bespoke
Well, no.
for free, perhaps.
We can certainly start the conversations, of course.
Nick's again this tall, dark, black dragonborn, like more draconic dragonborn as well. Yellow eyes that just like shine because their body just seems to meld with shadow. Dressed in fine, almost like a gauzy black shirt with like little silver pin on their black cravat. They seem to be favouring these like tight trousers and tall boots as well, with a silvery sash around, or maybe like a dark purple sash around their waist, which helps them blend in. But yes, well, something off the shelf, by all means, help yourself. Like, tell me what you would like, and let's not worry about cost for this one, shall we?
Well, of course, what I'm
It's going to cost a lot. I think so, yeah.
what I'm normally expecting is, as I'm sure you recall, last we visited, I was wearing a delightful blend of the Cauldron and Gildeye mix with some accents of the tans and the browns of the Calder, of course, but with the golden accents that you'd expect from the Gildeye
Yes.
provinces in the sash, and of course my bracer here, but. I'm just thinking, and I'm like reeling off like this long list of this outfit.
Tom, you mean you don't want to get new art?
I don't want to get new art. No, I mean, of course
You
we
could,
have
though.
conversations.
Hyrule is treasurer right here. No.
I was looking at the cravat, and I mean, some of those new trousers are looking very, very nice. But I think for now, comfortable is what I'm looking for.
We can find something. Nixa will find, it won't be an exact replica of your previous outfit, but it's somewhat close in style and colour, similar kind of shirts and tabards and sashes and things like that, and manages to put together a little outfit. But we should speak about something more custom, I think. Like, it would not do for you to be walking around, a hero of Ashen Rest. But you would need to come in for measurements and things like that. We can do so much better. This is off the shelf.
I mean, I would be insulted, but I am a mannequin. Dress me up.
Well, you will need to come back. We'll need to measure you. We'll need to sketch out. I'll sketch up some ideas. This would be a process, darling. This is not something I can do today. But come back, and we will chat. Maybe perhaps come back this evening for some measurements. We'll talk about some ideas. Let's whatever you. He starts piling some things. Here's a change. Here's an extra shirt, just in case you get this one, Maddie. Like piles up a pile of these clothes, puts it in a lovely bag, ties it off, does puts and puts that in the bag.
Just thinking about Love Actually, Mr. B.
Love Actually, it's like Mr. B sprinkling rose petals.
Come on.
Rolls it up.
Yes, no, absolutely.
No, it needs something else.
Yes,
sprays inside. Wonderful, perfect.
Thank you. I'm going to come out with 20 bags, and it's all for me.
But yeah, puts together an outfit and some spare shirts and things like that for you, and puts together. But it's just yes, tonight or tomorrow, come back, do some measurements. We'll sketch out some ideas and think about something for the future. I feel like something more befitting your status.
My status? More gold?
More whatever you want, but something that signals you as a hero of Ashen Rest.
Our status has a budget.
No, I would not dare charge for this. No. Well, think about it. It's good publicity for me. A hero of Ashen Rest, walking around wearing mystique clothing. Oh, it's a good advertisement for me.
I have no idea how business works, but this seems great.
Well,
I can't do this for all of you, and many of you still have your wonderful clothes on. But our poor gentleman here, Altheya, seems to be suffering. So I feel like this would be an apt opportunity.
He's been through the worst of it.
Oh, well then what better way to treat yourself than a lovely new designer outfit?
Designer outfit for me.
Yes, my dear.
Do you do smaller outfits? I bring out Stuart.
Oh, darling, no.
Maybe just the bow tie?
I can do a cravat.
Okay.
Goes over. No. This one will be fine. Comes over. And Stuart's like, I don't like this guy. Wriggling around. But he just gives it to you, Daisy. It's like, there you go. And it's like a little cravat with a little cauldron, little red stone in the middle.
I don't really agree with dressing up animals.
Just a little bow.
I look gruff up and down.
You're not from Cauldra.
He's also a man.
I'm a lion man.
I'm a man, father, a lion man. Anyway, but yeah, with that, Nix is just like, yes, come back, let's do something. But here you go, take this for now.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, you make your way down to the House of the Rose, the temple to Saint Typhine, where on entering you see once again, as it's kind of in the middle of the day, it's actually quite quiet in here. It's not too busy, so you see Reverend Mother Aurella Everdew and her brother Dandeli Everdew. Both may be attending, maybe like, a young dwarven lady is getting her hair cut and she's sat in a chair and Dandeli with his scissors and, he's got like razors and he's just like doing this beautiful braiding and hairstyle. Meanwhile...
Ruff, you should get that done again. Remember when you got
It did look
you get all your hair braided?
Yes.
All the gems and everything as well.
Aurella is actually sat in one of the temple's like luxurious chairs, and she's flipping through, not quite like a magazine, but it'd be like a folio. So it's like a bound sort of like A4 pages of like illustrated like outfits and new hairstyles, and she's like, and cosmetics, and she's flicking through that. And then sort of like, oh, we've got people here, and sort of, puts that down. My darlings, wonderful to see you again. We'd heard that you'd been off on some terrible thing, our heroes, off on some important quest, no doubt. Yes. Business for the Duke, I imagine. Oh, exciting.
We can't divulge.
No, of course. And honestly, anything you tell me, I can't promise I'd be able to keep it a secret.
Noted.
But yes, would you like to avail yourselves? Obviously, the baths are open to you for free. Obviously, we would love a little donation when you can. But would anyone like any more treatments or, massages?
I nudge Gruff forth.
What? Where am I forward?
I don't know, my dear. Would you like a treatment, a massage, braiding of the haircut, luxurious, perhaps some treatments for the fur, perhaps moisturising treatments, or
all of that?
Yes, we can do all of that. It will be a few little donation, but required. But yes, we can do all of that.
What was the kind of like standard donation, like this Kim?
It'd be like a couple of silver pieces or a couple of gold pieces, like would be standard.
Gruff slams down 100 gold.
Oh, wonderful, darling. Thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, yes. Let's get you all a lovely little treatment today. Go and have your bath, literally, and she, comes with you, well, we're quite quiet. I'll tend to myself. Come. And she, leads you down to the changing rooms. Leave your things here. We'll get those all washed and cleaned for you. Go and have your bath. And when you come up, I'll have some of the assistants come and help you with some things and things like that.
Thank you very much.
You go into the bath and again soaking in that beautiful hot springs. Hot, steamy water goes spreading everywhere, but it's all a wet room. It goes, but then sort of sinks back down in. The hot steam just fills your nostrils and your throat, and there's that kind of, you're breathing in that hot air, but it's cleansing, and there's oils in the air, and you soak.
Shoots out a dart of dirt.
It's just black at this point.
Gonna need to change the water.
There are multiple baths that you can go to. But yeah, you soak, and that heat and temperature just goes into your bones and eases those tensions, the muscle ache from all the battles. All of that begins to ebb and flow away. After however much time you want to spend in the baths, when you make your way back out, you're presented with a sort of little cotton towel robe. You wrap around yourselves, you're taken up into the treatment rooms, and Aurella and Dandeli are more than happy with such a generous donation to provide little services. So whether it's a little manicure or a massage or, hair braiding and luxurious moisturizings.
I can't.
Anything you want.
I was so relaxed, the crown steel just fell out.
Oh.
And then your heart stops.
So he does get new character art.
But yeah, what would for each of you be the thing you would want in a kind of fantasy spa treatment? Is this imagine what your character would most sort of even presented with options, what they might pick, for example. It could be sort of any sort of thing you can sort of imagine a fantasy bathhouse would provide.
A massage, but Daisy falls asleep immediately.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
It's that kind of soft, they put the oils on and it just melts into you and just face down.
Yeah.
To the point
she's
where
snoring is not graceful.
they they have to gently sort of tilt you over, not waking you, and sort of then go back and continue the massage whilst you're still asleep. They probably leave you in there for like a good 40 minutes, like just to.
I'm having a nap.
You have a lovely little nap. Yeah, lovely smells and aromas and things like that.
I think Ophelia would do like a full like exfoliation treatment, loads of like creams, lotions. Yeah, just like
The cheese grater.
like the haircut and style, like getting all the split ends taken care of, bits of twigs and things. That
Yeah,
might be
it's
in
all
her
taken
hair,
it, and it's like moisturized, like all the
Yeah.
dryness. Maybe like a manicure with the nails. They get under and clean all the nails for you as well. Paint them, and then with the exfoliation, the young assistant, this young male half elf, he brings out this like, and he's like, "Oh my, madam, your skin's very pale. We should like kind of like commenting on like your sort of like color complexion, but like is this a tough, gritty stone like texture as they like rub it down? You're getting all the dead skin away.
amazing.
Which for Ophelia, the dead skin is quite probably a lot of it.
Yeah.
It leaves this
I'm all
almost,
dead skin.
it's all this like pale white.
You just
Not
come
quite.
out and you're like muscle.
Bit much.
But yeah, like
Darling, that feels amazing.
of course. Anything that this is what Saint Typhine teaches us to love ourselves and to love each other and to appreciate the beauty of these little moments. And takes all this away and then goes on to the hair and the nails and everything else.
When Gruff gets his hair done, is it like in Beauty and the Beast when they're getting the beast ready for
Yes.
dinner?
Yeah.
Not anymore. So we made the
Yeah.
exact same joke
true.
the first time. So I think he was a bit grumpy and reluctant, but now
he's-
he loves it. Especially because whoever does it does like a head massage with like nails, and you know how cats just like will and dribble a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like him.
Like
Well,
him. Yeah.
And also, there's probably this element of like he's a knight errant now, and there's a little bit of pride maps there, and like
true.
lets them sort of like trim and comb the beard and moisturize it and properly braid it and get it
Like
all
Sir
looking nice,
Griot.
like Sir Griot.
There's
very much.
definitely
Inspiration.
Yeah.
This time has Gruff asked for any changes that are like what Gruff wants?
No, it's Sir Griot always.
He's just like Sir Griot.
Yeah.
Like
that's,
this
that's
in the
his
photo.
I think maybe the
only-
assistant is the one who's like, oh well, let's do this and things like that, just like Sir Griot. But then it's like subtly making little
yeah.
changes that Gruff probably wouldn't notice.
And then someone will come in one day and go, yeah, just like Sir Gruff.
So yeah, Gruff is attended to, and again they use like a thick conditioner and like really get the fur and the hair, the big. And when it's dried, it's lovely and fluffy and thick and voluminous.
Honestly,
Is it really soft?
Katie, right now, I'm just thinking about when you scratch my head with your nails and I die a little bit, like
There you go.
dribble, like
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just thinking about that.
Yep. Probably a nice human apprentice with like nice long, beautiful coloured nails. What about Rowan?
A deep sports massage. I want that person on the
It's not one person, it's a team of 3 halflings like crawling over your body. Like,
Having a full wrestling match on you.
it's like, oh, this is so
really
good.
hitting it, can someone go to the top?
Yeah,
Jump
of
off.
course, sir. They like climb up to the
Take the chair!
They just use their 2 feet. They like pile drive like down onto. Oh,
Have you started yet?
yes, we're getting there, sir. They like get out like these heavy wooden poles. Like, but yeah, it is like a beating. But with Rowan, it's great.
This feels lovely and calm.
Smash a chair over your back.
Yeah.
Like Bart with
He's jumping from the top of the cell.
Bart with Homer in the bathtub. Oh, it's so nice. But yeah, they really go at it. It's almost like they get like rolling pins like out, and they're like rolling your muscles down, and
Man, I should really go for like the sport massage next time rather than
they're like sweating, like they're trying so hard.
Massage for the half.
Yeah, they're really trying, but it does feel lovely, and it's like it helps get some of the tension out of those
I feel
muscles and
so
everything else.
supple.
Yeah.
Like I'm floating.
What about Xanthia?
I would have a private bath for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
but it would be because being a golden dragon, I need it hot.
Oh
so
yeah,
it
so
is
like maybe it's like a specially reserved for like dragons and
it's
dragonborn
like
hot bath.
the bath is there and there's like a pillar of steam.
It's like
coming out of
boiling
this thing.
almost. Like you're like, oh.
Yeah, for anyone else, they're dead. For me, with my fire resistance,
Yeah.
I need a really, really, really hot bath. I think obviously I need to get the Anakin haircut.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get my scales buffed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's probably like something. It'd be like an exfoliation treatment. Like they get special brushes out, like kind of like helps get some of the the dead cells off and things like that.
Get some oils on there so they really gleam.
Yep.
I think that'll be enough for old Zanzan.
Yeah.
Oh, I also wanted to get a hair treatment.
Yeah.
Just like a good moisturizer.
Yeah, that's it. It's perfect. It's exactly what the House of the Rose does, and with the amount that you've given them as well, they're more than happy to. These the treatments, by the way, all give you a plus D4 to charisma ability checks. So in the next 24 hours. So if you make any charisma ability checks, you have an extra D4.
1. Hell yeah. Or is it wait? You roll a d4.
Yeah,
Each time, yeah. Each time you roll a d4.
Look at all the rules of the game. 9 years we've been doing this.
You finish up these treatments, you get dressed, Xanthias, in your lovely, fresh new clothes. Those of you who had all your clothes are laundered for you as well, so they come out nice and fresh. Yeah.
They sold it?
No. That's right. They sold our clothes. No, they wash all your clothes. They're all like freshly cleaned, properly like dried and things as well.
On the pants, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those pants.
They've shrunk.
It was raw. Like it was uncomfortable. And you can see that like when they come out next to yours is like a little jar of like chalk powder and like a sign of like apply liberally before wear.
Did they shrink though?
No, they wouldn't shrink. No. They're
Is it like Ross in Friends when he's trying to get the leather trousers?
It's like buttered. They provide like there's two things. There's a little bottle of oil and then there's the chalk powder as well.
The talcum chalk and the ice butter.
Yeah. When you finish, you're probably close to sort of like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. afternoon time. Would you want to go up? Like Emberissa is kind of expecting you, like, and has said come up to the Dominus Ignarum to claim, get your rewards and speak with the Duke and things like that.
We should probably do that.
Yeah, Dominus. Nice and ready. And
I just
Well, we
feel
look
so,
good.
We look
honestly,
good.
I don't want to do anything right now. I feel so good and fresh and clean. Maybe I'll just stand here. I'm just gonna. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go sit down and relax, and just.
where's he gone?
For podcast listeners, Tom just slid down his chair to represent Xanthias' relaxing.
He's a floor boy now.
What if we just stayed here forever and ever, and we just never left?
That would be nice, and
Tempting.
we have work to
No
do.
more adventures. You know what? I'm retired. This is me now.
And that's the end of Altheya the Dragon Empire, everybody. No.
Just in time for our 9th birthday.
You make your way up to the Dominus Ignarum. Considerate Orgrim is expecting you. His usual sort of gruffness with you is replaced with a little bit more of a professional courtesy. This time he bows his head and nods like, yes, adventurers, Lady Emberissa has been expecting you. Let me show you. She's asked me to escort you to her quarters as soon as you arrive. You are led to a part of the Dominus Ignarum you've not been in before. This is there is a 3-story tower that is adjacent to the main ducal palace that isn't necessarily visible as you're walking up there. It's kind of around the side to the back. It is a round turreted 3-story tower. And when you enter at sort of like the mid-level as you make your way through the Dominus Ignarum, and you know that there's a floor below you and a floor above. The room that you enter is an ornate kind of mixture of living room and also kind of armory almost. There are lounges, these huge chaise-longues, clearly designed for a 9-foot, 10-foot tall person. Everybody but Rowan, as you're making your way around Lady Emberissa's kind of quarters, it's hard not to feel a bit like a child in an adult's room because everything is like oversized. Everything here is designed for somebody who is 9 feet tall. There are like chairs for guests and things like that, but they look so small and delicate compared to everything else. So Rowan's the closest one where like, but even for Rowan, you're like, oh, this is big. Like, if
And
you as you look around,
luxurious as well.
yeah, everything is like luxurious. Golds, red and orange and pink sort of drapes and fabrics and cushions line the place. You notice that one wall, the living room, has a wall of weaponry above the fireplace, like these beautiful pieces of swords and axes and maces and bows, all on display here. There are suits of armor. Some of them look quite historic and are actually in glass cabinets, with little plaques and things like that. And you can also see that one section is behind a sort of gilded, golden cage almost. And you can see that in there are, again, these display pieces in glass cabinets and, library walls with like the chains kind of drawn across them. Clearly glows and colors and sounds emanating from that place that indicates that those are probably magical items. And waiting for you in this little space, Orgrim leads you to the door, lets you inside. There are refreshments that have been laid out, and you see scurrying around lots of little kobolds dressed in red and orange outfits. These, you've met the Tariks, who are a little bit more sort of, rough around the edges. They run a little tavern, kind of a little rough and tumble place. These kobolds look very prim and proper. Their outfits, although they're red and oranges and golds, they're like little butler and maid outfits, like they're running around in. And they're sort of like, yes, yes, and they're like setting out the drinks, and they bow or curtsy very politely to you whenever they pass, but rarely speak, always rushing around, attending to something. And then eventually one of them stops, and you can see he's a little kobold in a little red and orange twin coat tails, little jacket. He's got like a little short pair of pants that leave his little scaly feet and his tail hanging out of the back, and he's got these big round glasses and a little tuft of, not like hair, but like the tendril kind of draconic kind of hair, and it's kind of swept over a little bit.
Yeah, hello. Yes, hello, I'm so glad to meet you all. My name is Kulo Kikthi. I am the custodian of Lady Embertha's collection. Hello.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yes, pleasure to meet you as well. Hello.
What was that name again?
His name is Kulo, Kulo. Kikshi, which is Kikxi. Kikshi. And the Kikshi family, you would very quickly learn, is the name of the kobold family that looks after the Ignarius line. So they are all the Kikshi clan, and this is Kulo Kikshi.
Yes, I am the custodian of antiquity. Here I look after Lady Embertha's collection and the collection of Duke Ignarius, and Lord Ashidius has his own. He looks after his own collection, so I don't trouble myself with that. But it's wonderful to meet you all, and hello.
Hi. Well, we I hope you are excited about the return of... Wait, would Heartwarden even come here? I don't know, maybe? Heartwarden?
Oh, yes, no, we're very excited about it. Lady Embertha said that she's holding on to it for sentimentality for a moment, but eventually it will join the collection, and everything like that. And we will likely look after the halberd as well.
I see.
Temporarily as well, until Sir Eldrak is feeling better. I heard that his injuries are quite severe, and he will take some time to recover. Obviously, we all wish him the best.
Yes, as do we. This is a marvelous collection. I'm sure every piece here has a grand story behind it.
Oh, yes, and I that's my purpose is to learn all the stories, and I collect them, and I manage them, and I sometimes inquire about opportunities in other places for Lady Embertha to collect more as well.
Really?
Yes. Yes, it's a passion of mine. I'm not very good at cleaning and cooking and doing those sorts of things, but Lady Embertha saw that I loved history, and so she gave me this job, which I'm very grateful for, very, very grateful for. Yeah.
Are these all, how to say, Ilmerin relics, or are these from Proto-Magi vaults, or...?
Oh, yes, well, I can... Lady Embertha has instructed me that you are, you as a reward for your completion of her quest, that you are allowed to choose 2 of her relics to take with you.
Any 2?
From her special collection.
Wow.
And I will introduce you. We have 5 magical relics, magical items that you would be able to choose from today, and I know all of their stories. Some of these, the more mundane items that we have, some of them are historic, some of them have been recovered from unusual places. I believe, and he points at a very strange looking made from some large bone, but it's like a serrated knife, but it's massive. This is a particularly interesting piece. It's a frost giant's hunting knife from the Giant Isles.
That's a knife.
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
Yes. Obviously, it shows the size and strength of the giants themselves.
Yeah.
But yes, he points up to it. We believe it to be taken from some sort of sea beast or something like that. That it's created from.
Wow.
I don't think any of us will be able to wield anything quite like that, except maybe Rowan, but even then.
Bit big for me. I'm a half giant.
It's amazing.
Yes, I mean, yes, it would be very unwieldy to wield for such an occasion, and it's quite old as well. So it's in a bit of a state, and obviously it's collectible, so it wouldn't be taken into the field or anything like that.
I see.
Is this the only one, or are there many more of these?
Oh, well, we believe culturally that a frost giant who completes some sort of rite of passage earns, and we believe it to be that they have to kill the creature that it's from. They can then carry one of these knives with them. And you see the engravings here along the thing. We believe them to be giant runes, now inert, but these runes are normally carry great arcane power with them. And it's very fascinating because you can see it, and he starts launching, he's distracted. You've distracted him, and now he's like, I'm telling you about this cool thing. And then he moves on to the next mundane sort, and he starts telling you about a halberd and how it was wielded by some ancient knight from years ago and blah, blah, and starts rattling off, but is totally off track from what he's supposed to be doing. And he starts going over to the library, I think I have some illustrations of other giant implements as well.
Well, I mean, we don't need to see, this is 5 stories deep now, right? I don't think we need to see the illustrations, but I mean, we are interested in any of the more, I guess, magical relics you might have.
Of course. Oh, cool. And yes, I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to let you pick from the collection. I'm so sorry. I get distracted very easily.
No, I enjoyed the lengthy stories.
Oh, I'm glad. I do enjoy sharing them with people. But yes, and he kind of scurries over, and he pulls out of his on his belt a huge kind of ring of keys, and he opens up this special collection. Please come inside. And he brings you into, this little section, cordoned off part of the living chambers, which contain these beautiful display cabinets. And there are 5 prominent items, and kind of if you've seen Thor, he has the collection of the artifacts on the pedestals in display. These are all kind of displayed there. And he will show you all of them individually, and then any that you have a particular interest in, he can tell you the story of.
Okay.
But what you see is a suit of beautiful chainmail. The chainmail is made with a very silvery material, and it has emerald, made from emerald green leaves that sort of decorate it. Very beautiful piece. There is a staff, a quarter staff of white wood with a spiral pattern banded in silvery blue stone. You don't have to write all this down. You can just write quarter staff.
Oh, thank God.
The staff is actually attracting little motes of cloud around it that seem to be hovering around. He shows you an enormous, this is the largest display cabinet, because in it is this enormous grey, big chunky rock, and it's engraved with an arcane.
It's art.
Hold it.
It's
hold it.
things for us.
It's engraved with this big arcane glyph, and then next to it is a smaller rock with the same glyph attached to it. But this rock is massive. You would not be able to carry it around with you. It's huge, like a boulder-sized rock.
The noise that came out of his mouth. I just want to know what that's for.
Just conjure rock.
Then he shows you another display cabinet has a large flanged mace of a very sturdy steel with a worn. It looks quite mundane, actually, in its construction.
Our personalized artifacts.
The mace itself has actually got speckles of rust on it and a very worn leather grip. And that's on display. Cool. And then the last time, and all of these have little plaques, but you're just
glancing these in, right, as a first view. The last one has a beautiful, it's on like a display piece around like a necklace it's a beautiful crystal capsule with silver and gold fittings with imagery of like the gold fittings are almost like a tiefling woman holding on to the capsule, like she's holding it up. And you can see that there's some sort of liquid in the capsule as well. And it's on this beautiful gold and silver chain as well. Well, these are the prizes of Lady Emberis's collection. I can tell you about any of them. I know all of their stories.
Please begin with the boulder.
This is the runestone of Hearth and Home.
I love it.
Now, there's a very interesting... This is actually more of a personal story because it was a gift given to Lady Emberitha. She was vacationing in the Suncrest Isles, and while she was... And she likes to bathe in her sunbathe in her humanoid form. And she heard somebody calling out in distress. And when she went to the next beach over, there was a giant, a Dale giant, and he was on the shore and he was being attacked by these hideous sea creatures. And Lady Emberitha went to his aid, and she fended and defeated the creatures and sent them off. And she learned that this giant was a trader from the Giant Isles, and his boat had been sunk by some horrid fiends of Ojanya, the horror beneath, one of the Embered. And the creatures had followed him as he swam to shore. And so she defeated these creatures, and Lady Emberitha, in her infinite kindness and wisdom, she escorted the man back to a port, and she paid for his trip back home. She chartered a ship to take him back to the Giant Isles. And then months later, a delivery arrived here at the Dominus Ignorum of this big rock. And nobody really knew what to do with it. But there was simply a note that said, "In thanks for helping me get home." Oh. And we've discovered since that this is a very unique item that uses giant rune magic. And it basically, the smallest stone allows the person holding it to teleport back to the larger stone. Now, we estimate that it can be used approximately once every 7 days or so, but it allows people to return home, which is a beautiful little connection, specifically made, we think, by the Dale Giant, who is one of the legendary giant runesmiths. So very fortunate Lady Emberitha saved them. So yes, this is the runestone of Hearth and Home. And the rock can be taken and moved and placed where you see fit, wherever you would call home, one would say. But beautiful little story, isn't it?
Lovely story. It was worth it just for the story alone.
Yes, indeed, yes. I love this. I love my job.
I can tell. It's fascinating.
Would you like to know, is there another item?
Quarterstaff.
The staff? Oh, yes. This is Cloud Skipper's staff. Cloud Skipper's staff. Now, this one, we don't have all the details of this story, but we believe that it once belonged to a wild heart mage, who we think is called Cloud Skipper, who lived in the mountains between Iceheart and the Azar Steppe. And they claimed to be the apprentice of a cloud giant sorceress who lived in a castle that flew on clouds and could move around.
They flew on clouds?
That's what they said. This is what the story says. Wow. And so, this mage, Cloud Skipper, they said that they would come down to buy supplies, and they would simply seem to just fall out of the sky. They would come and buy supplies, and then they would tap the staff on the ground and then fly back up into the air, straight up. And the story goes that Cloud Skipper's story grew in the little villages and settlements around, and then eventually, one day, the staff was just found discarded on the road. It was just found down the road. Nobody knows why or what happened to Cloud Skipper, but it was picked up by a few nomads and merchants. They discovered what the magical powers that it has, and over the years it's changed hands, it's been sold on and so forth, until it arrived into Lady Emberitha's supply. We have examined the item, and I've identified it. And what it does is this: it is a magical staff, and it allows you to cast the spell Levitate a certain number of times. We estimate that it has about
about 6 charges of power, and it regains 1d6 of them each day.
1d6, huh?
What do you mean by
1d6?
1d6? Sorry.
Yes. A random number. Sometimes I
Right.
use this to help explain. I imagine it like a dice when you are playing
Dice.
games. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So imagine that you would have a random amount of power restored to the.
Oh, so a d6 has 6 sides.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
You know, like a dice you would use when you were playing a pub
yes,
game. or
Yes. Yeah.
hazard.
Yeah.
Interesting system.
We should have that. at Tyrant's Rest.
It's like a game I play with my brothers and sisters sometimes, so it helps me to like think of it in that way.
Wait, so there are different dice with different values on them? Different numbers?
Yes.
Sounds insane.
I don't think he'll catch on. Sounds
What kind
too
of shape would
complicated.
that be?
Maybe it's a kobold game.
Yeah, far too
I
complicated.
mean, after 6 sides, it basically becomes a ball, right?
So anyway, are there any other items you would like to look at?
I'd like to look at this this little mace a little closer.
This is one of my personal favorites.
Is it?
Yes, this is Iron Ender.
Iron Ender.
Yes.
What a name.
I know. I love it when they have a name.
It's good, isn't it?
So the story for this one is that this mace was created by the dwarven thaumaturge Keela Cragsilver to defeat a seemingly endless army of metal soldiers that came out of the vault called the Iron Barrow in Gildai. Now, when the vault was opened and explored, it activated some sort of forge that produced these mindless, aggressive metal soldiers that began to spew out of the vault, and it attacked the nearby town of Weltsilver. The town defenders were struggling to fend off the seemingly unending waves, so Keela crafted an enchanted Iron Ender with the blessing of Saint Mithara. And with a team of heroes, they fought their way into the vault to shut it down. They succeeded, but the vault then immediately shut down and vanished from sight and was never seen again until Iron Ender was discovered by an anonymous planar trader, apparently. Somebody who would go about the plains and trade, and I know I'm not supposed to talk about that, some people get very funny about that. But they left it in the care of a smith in Emberford who sold it to Lady Emberitha. But yes, it was used to fight an endless army of steel men and women.
Real hero's weapon.
Yes, and we believe that this mace, its enchantment is specific, that it is a sort of magical weapon, and it will enhance the accuracy and power of each swing. But if used against a construct, a golem or something like that, it is even more powerful. And if it strikes a particularly weak construct, it destroys them immediately.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, it's very powerful.
Oh.
Very strong.
Fucking lisp again.
Last one. Just give us.
There's 2 more.
I think I'd like to look at the one that seems to be most appropriate for me, the green leaves chainmail. I'm kidding. I want to look at the necklace.
Oh, yes, certainly. Sorry, I was very confused. You want to look at the chainmail or the necklace?
Both.
Oh,
Not at the same time.
okay. I couldn't think of how I could tell 2 stories at the same time.
One word at a time.
Which one first?
The chainmail.
Oh, yes. So this chainmail is called. Now I struggle with elven names. Dalaran, I think. Dalaran's Last Judy. This suit of chainmail, it's made from a material called mithril, and it once belonged to an elven sentinel of the Feywield, who died defending a city which we believe was called Calathil, when the Feywild was attacked by the Dark Fey and they forced all the elves out. You've heard about that in history, maybe. But anyway, this elven warrior, they died defending their city, and they were slain just before the city was transported here to the material plane. Their family traded the armor for a home in Kelthgareth, and Emberitha bought it from a collector there. Now, this suit of armor, it has a slight aura of magic that enhances its protective nature. But the most interesting thing is that this mithril material makes it very light and easy to wear. And even people, anybody who can wear things like leather armor or things like that, they'll be able to wear this armor as if it was just a light vest or something like that. So somebody who is trained in light armors can wear this, even though it would normally be a very heavy and difficult to wear suit of armor.
Not following.
And then the last one, the Tears of Saint Typhine. Beautiful piece, this one. Very sad, very heartbreaking. The story of this item is that during a dangerous disease in the city of Wavemeet, a young healer and priest was exhausted from days of expending all their mana and energy trying to cure the people. And they went to the temple of Saint Typhine and they prayed to just to save one more, to have the enough energy and power to save one more person. And in a miracle, the statue that they were praying to began to cry. And when they reached up and they touched the water coming from the statue's eyes, they felt all their magic come back to them. And they raced out and they healed more people. And then when they came back, the statue continued to cry and they touched it and they were filled with energy and they went back out and they healed more and more people until this priest and healer had healed everybody of the disease. Wow. But then they themselves died from exhaustion and expenditure. And the statue is said to have cried one last final tear, and it was captured by the priests into a device. And now it's kept in this necklace. And anybody who is, if you feel a desire to refill yourself with magical power, it can do that maybe once a day or so. It regenerates magical energy.
Wow.
A beautiful but sad story.
Yes. Very powerful relic.
But yes, these are the 5 relics, and Lady Emberissa has said that she would like you to have 2 of them. Difficult choice.
It really is. It really is.
Pressed up against the display case with the boulder.
The runestone.
Just trying to listen to it.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Sure thing. 19 plus, like, a silly amount.
Well, let's find out how much.
It's plus 3.
Yeah, 22. You listen, it's encased in this glass, and I think you get the impression that this glass is like actually magical glass. And Kulo's like, oh, excuse me, sir, please don't press against that too hard. Oh, the alarms, I don't know if that will trigger the alarms. But as you listen, you can hear something. Reminds you, the beat, the melody of this stone, it reminds you of an old trail song that your family would have taught you. It supposedly comes from giants, the giants that your lineage comes from. And it's an old walking song from the Dale Giants, and it's a song about going home. It's a song, it's a beat. And you're not hearing lyrics, you're just hearing the melody of that song. But it reminds you of that song, and it's all about, after a long day's walk, the best walk is the one when you go home. Like, that's the best walk of the day. It's like you go out, you hike, you go a lot, you explore, but then the best walk is when you're going home to your fire and your family and your good meal kind of thing. Very wholesome, kind of classic kind of trail song, basically. And you can hear the faint tones of that song coming from it.
Very nice.
Can I roll some kind of check as to know if I know anything about Cloud Skipper?
Sure. This will be, I would say, a history check, and it's probably going to be quite high DC. So this is quite an obscure figure from long ago.
17.
17. You've maybe heard the name, maybe bits of this story that you've been told. Supposedly they were an apprentice to a cloud giant sorceress. They would drop down and solve problems and then fly back up into the sky. And that's, you kind of know, no, not much more than that. This is quite an obscure figure.
What's your AC?
Mine?
With mage armor, it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, I've always got mage armor, consistently prepared. I got 14.
And yours?
Low.
Oh, it's huge.
Don't you have mage armor now?
10.
I don't have mage armor.
I feel like someone got mage armor. Was it?
I got mage armor.
Ah, yeah.
I'm at 10 right now. I should have a little bit more because of what I'm wearing. Yeah. 12.
Okay.
Also, on an out-of-game level, the Elven Chainmail, the Dalaran's last duty, you have to be proficient with light armor. So, for example, Xanthius can't wear it because he's not proficient in light armor, right?
Yeah, I'm not proficient in any armor.
No.
Which is why I got mage armor.
Unarmored defense for me.
Yeah.
Does that interfere? Is mage armor actually better for you then?
It depends, because you don't have the highest con, do you?
No.
So I think, because like normally with barbs you add your con and dex together, but obviously if it's not higher, then
Yeah,
armor
it
would
works
be.
out better usually to do it unarmored.
What's your dex?
But I think with Ophelia, she doesn't have a
My
huge con.
base
So.
AC
Yeah.
becomes 13 plus Dex mod, which is
Plus 3 or
plus 3.
so 16,
16.
with mage armor,
One
which is actually pretty good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just wondering. Cool.
Mine is 15.
Mine's 15, yeah.
Then you have armor of Oak and
17
Thorn to go up
yeah.
to 17. So chainmail's a base AC, by the way, is 16, and then this is a magic suit of armor, so it gets an extra +1 on top of that. But you don't get dex bonus to it because it's heavy. It counts as chainmail. So, but it doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks because it's mithril. So it's like heavy armor, but you don't get disadvantage with stealth with it. So your AC, if you wore that elven suit of chainmail, your AC would be 17 plus anything like shield or spells and stuff like that on top of it.
Wow.
So it's pretty good.
That is very
Pretty good.
It's a pretty good piece of armor.
Rowan?
I think we've always been in agreement that Rowan needs some armor.
Rowan needs some
Yeah.
armor.
With this big boulder, nothing will stand in my way.
You can't carry the big one.
but the
You're supposed
boulder
to take the
stays
little
here.
one.
So yeah, I'm going to make a point with the runestone of Hearth on Home. The big one has to be set somewhere. You can't
On
just
my
carry
back.
it. Nope, it is
And we leave
too
the small one where we want to teleport to.
Unless you
other way round.
animate it.
You could, yeah. And Rowan, like Jotnir do have that
Tiny arms and
thing.
legs.
You do have that thing of your carrying capacity is like double. You could carry that big stone around with you. It would be extremely heavy and uncomfortable.
But,
But also its benefit is like you
Yeah.
put it
Yeah,
somewhere
the
and then you
benefit is
teleport
that
to
There's
it.
no point.
No, it's
Is it a
keeping
single
a big
person
boulder
teleport?
with me. At all
No, it's
times.
the spell teleport, so you can teleport a number of creatures,
Oh.
and it will never fail because it only goes to that one.
It's
like, one.
very
fucking
good.
good.
It's basically a Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I kind of love the rock and the
it's a
armor
one
for
week.
Rowan.
Yeah. Well,
I can't have both.
so
Well, but the rock's
The rock
for
is for
everyone.
the party.
Yeah.
Iron and
The rock's
is
like
a
a
good
get out,
one.
get home.
For again, just for a little bit of out of game stuff. So Iron Ender is a mace of smiting.
Yeah.
It's a +1 mace normally. If you attack a construct, it becomes a +3 mace, and it deals extra damage against constructs.
Good job.
Give this boy armor in real life, please.
Have you been injured at work?
The mace of smiting. The mace of smiting has another effect of if it hits a construct with 25 hit points or less, it instantly destroys them.
That's crazy.
So it's situational. Constructs being stuff like golems and robots and stuff like that,
It's like
but
a turn
it's
on
very
dead, but
powerful.
for constructs.
Kind of,
in
but
a
it's
mace.
like it's
Yeah.
powerful.
Deconstruct.
The Tears of Saint Typhene
yeah.
are a pearl of power. So once a day, you can restore up to a 3rd level spell slot. So you can get a 1st, a 2nd, or a 3rd level spell slot back.
That feels like
Pretty
it's
good,
really
but I
good.
do think
It's
that
pretty good.
like giving Rowan a 17,
Oh yeah, no, that's.
On
I think
armor.
that's a go-to.
that's a fucking
Yeah,
big
it means-
increase.
You don't have to heal you as much, but
The thing is, with 2024,
And the rock is good for all of us.
I think a lot of spellcasters now have a lot more arcane recovery stuff.
Yeah.
I don't.
You get stuff on short? No, you don't.
You get wild shape back.
Wild
on short
shape
rest,
on
yeah.
short rest.
How do you feel about the quarterstaff,
Levitate!
Rowan?
Why not a 3rd quarterstaff?
Why
You
not
got
a third
two.
one?
Get a third one.
I get and then a 4th one, so every paw.
One staff
Has a
for
staff.
humans, one for monsters.
Nice.
Well, this staff basically it has 6 charges. You can spend charge to cast the spell Levitate. It always casts at the same level. You can't upcast it. But Levitate's interesting. You can cast it on objects and other creatures, like unwilling creatures, and like make them fly up in the air.
Strap them
Mark,
together.
I played Nova for how many years? You don't need to tell me about what wishy-washy fly spells can do. I'm a full-on convert.
What are we thinking then, everybody?
I think the rock and the armor.
Rock and the armor. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Well, Rowan, I think it's time we armored you up. Frankly, while
Well,
you're
if I
the
get
great.
the crop top leather
That's
jacket,
gonna
It's not really gonna block
protect you.
much, though, is it? Really?
I've
I
got a
mean,
big collar.
if you had a big collar, it might help a little bit. But I was thinking more. I think you would look fabulous
In a rock.
in some green leaves chainmail. Look at this. Don't you think that
Is it
suits
my
you?
size?
It doesn't look like it will be a great fit. No.
Okay. Well, I mean, we
Does
can
it
maybe.
Is it like magic so it would fit whoever it goes
I
on?
don't know. How would you know that?
Kulo?
I think this is for a baby.
Yes.
Does this, a lot of magical equipment we've encountered before, not unlike this coat here, has readjusted to the size of the person wearing it?
Yes, that's a very common trait of many magical armors and clothing and things like that.
Good. Now, does this
Rings.
chainmail do the same?
Absolutely, yes.
It
of course,
absolutely
yes.
does.
Yes,
Rowan?
yes. Well, I mean, that's Lady Emberitha wore it for some time, and obviously she has a larger
I
form.
bet she looked amazing in it.
Lady Emberitha looks amazing in everything.
Oh, yes, that's true.
There's nothing. She literally looks the best in everything. I don't think it's possible for her.
No, you are right. She is perfect. But, Rowan, would you want to try maybe the chainmail, or what were you thinking? Were you thinking of something else?
Yes.
I think the leaf motif would suit you very well.
Oh, that's true. It does look lovely.
It's a little bit more like, I would say, delicate than Rowan's. Like Rowan's is very hearty enough. This is like elven, very
I just
sort of
more
like.
meant
ooh.
leaves.
But yeah, the green would accentuate your color scheme quite well, and like things like that. Yeah.
I just really think the boulder would be a real nice.
We
we can get
Well, we get two
I
things.
think like leaves of
Two
Lorien
relics.
style leaves, like but made of emerald.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, the rock's very good. The rock is pretty good.
We can take
We're
the
allowed
rock.
to. We're
Yeah.
allowed to.
Yes, but
So I don't need the armor, is what I'm saying. If one of you wants something else,
But you're.
Right, the boulder's coming.
Chris Trott is just like, I don't want a better AC. Fuck you.
You get hit.
I want to die.
Problem.
I don't
well,
want to die.
I'm thinking I am
You
not
got a
going to be
boon.
using...
You got a boon that saves you from dying now. It's all right. You don't need a big AC, do
Got a
you?
flower.
That's true.
I love this where and obviously you guys are right. I absolutely put that armor in specifically red. But I also know the fact I was like, I'm going to give them a choice because I know Chris Trott will be like, wow, I want the rock though.
Okay, well, I'm not going to use that mace anytime soon. I'm not going to use a quarterstaff, that's for sure. I would just hit myself in the face with that. And the necklace is beautiful, but...
I mean, we
the
could
rock
take
and-
both.
The rock and the armor would be really good because the rock that could get us out of a really tricky situation.
Think about how long the travel was back from the Ash Hills.
I would like the boulder, and if we don't get the boulder, I'd be very unhappy.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, okay, in that case, let's just call the boulder a guarantee.
Yes!
Okay, we're getting the boulder.
You would like the runestone of Hearth and Home?
Runestone of Hearth and
You
Home.
can erase that, yes? Yes. Oh, no, he's like, don't try and open it. No. And he will...
Armed guards come in.
No, he will. Kulo will like walk over to it, and he, from his belt, he has like a little book, and he pulls it up and he flicks through it. He's like, and he starts casting a spell, and you see like all these glyphs deactivate off the glass and off the pedestal and things like that. And then he unlocks the glass and opens it up. Now. Are you sure that you're going to be able to carry? Oh my goodness! Oh by the thighs! You just over your shoulders, like arms wrapped around it, like the strong men carrying like a big log or something like that.
Well, could you put the small one in my pouch?
Oh yes, I thought he like gets the small one, puts it in your pocket.
And Rowan, you are good. You are happy carrying that?
Happy.
Okay, good. You are going to have to keep that.
I'm so happy.
Okay, yes, I can tell. You are going to have to keep
Genuinely,
the smaller runestone safe, though. I'm sure you can keep a rock safe, but we can't lose that. Rowan, you're tipping. You're tipping.
Hold him!
tipping.
Somebody hold him!
I can't hold that.
He's going to squash his own skull!
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Rowan,
Well,
why
let's
don't you put it on the ground just now and then pick it
Okay.
up before we leave? Okay.
My leg.
Little cobbled.
Xanthias dies off screen behind a rock.
He'll be back. Playing Jesus.
But now we have a choice for the others as well. Is anyone else interested in the other ones?
No, I'm interested in making Rowan harder to hit.
Okay, you don't want the mace? You don't want the quarterstaff? You
No,
don't want
I
the
can
necklace?
make
You don't want-
shiny daggers.
That's true, that's true. Ophelia?
Well, the mace sounds incredibly
little dragon
powerful.
tongue, like a little lizard tongue.
I've been blessed
not
with a
know what you're
relic
doing.
from the Grey Lands themselves.
That's true,
I've
true.
been
Velociraptor.
very.
My God, what did you say? You have a relic?
Oh, I do. Yes, would you like to see it?
Very much so. I would very much like to
He
see the
wants to
relic.
know everything about it.
Please tell me everything.
I will. This is Voras.
Immediately cast detect magic, cast identify. Is like
What can you see? What could you tell me about it?
starts examining it.
Well, now that he's distracted, let's steal the rest and go.
Do you want to try?
No.
Yeah, for the sake of argument, we'll jump back to that because we're near the end of the episode, and I would like you to make a decision before we end the episode.
Armor. The only thing is, relics level up, right?
Well, so this is the thing, right? Like, I've called them relics. These aren't necessarily these aren't relics. These are just magic items.
Oh, in that case, Kulo, not interested.
Thank you, time.
Heart Warden.
Yes, Heart Warden was. You could have been like, no, we found it. We're going to keep it. But
not an asshole.
Exactly, right? Now, that's not to say maybe in the future you might not be gifted it at some point in the future.
Okay, well, there is the question of it. Chris Trott, do you actually want the armor?
I'm
do you
just
not?
being Rowan.
Right, he's getting the armor.
He's getting the armor.
We've decided.
Oh,
Armor.
very good. You were like Dalen. He
Sorry, what was that
gives you back veracity.
Thank you.
And he will go up. He does the same
You're
thing.
all sure.
Oh, yes.
He deactivates the thing and pulls out.
All right.
And offers it. Now, Kulo can't physically lift the chainmail, but he's like, yes, please help yourself.
I would like to be donned.
You put it on. You have to do the chainmail.
I
Do
do
the
myself.
little wiggle.
I'll wiggle in.
And yeah, you watch as the chainmail does seem to magically sort of expand and grow, its links replicating as it fits to Rowan's form. And yeah, you now have Dalaran's Last Duty, which is the name of this chainmail. I will do these as proper items, and you can have them all properly next week. But with that, your two relics.
Right.
As Kulo finishes like tidying things up, he's kind of chatting with you as you go to leave. Lined up as you are about to leave the chambers, all the little kobolds in their little butler outfits and little maid outfits are there, and they sort of bow and sort of like, thank you very much for coming, thank you for visiting. They sort of like bow. And you see Orgrim is there holding another Wayleaf note. Which is for 1,000 gold on behalf of Lady Empress. Of course, I was told to instruct to give this to you as well. And he just hands that over to you as well.
We are really amassing these things.
Father
Thank
Gruffith
you.
takes it.
Yes.
Thank you, Gruff.
Thank you, Conspirator Orgrim.
Considerate.
Impressed you got the Conspirator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
genuinely.
the 500 gold is.
You would need to go and speak to Duke
Gotta go speak Daddy.
Ignarius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daddy.
That's a next week.
Which if,
problem.
I think that
Money,
will be
please.
yes. But with that, we will end today's episode.
Nice.
Alrighty, nice.
Good bit role play and sort of shopping / rewards.
Stuart.
And Stuart.
Just
Um,
getting
a big
back
arc.
and
It
enjoy
needs
it.
it.
Yeah.
Lovely bit. Yeah, you deserve a bit. It was a big arc. You got 2 level ups. You need those. You deserve those magic items.
been a whole
And you've got a
year.
bunch of gold. Don't forget, you also still have some opportunity to maybe make some magic items with some bits and bobs that you guys
Yeah.
have got.
True.
You can also now start thinking about what, in terms of like tavern upgrades, you would like to do. Things like that we got. And also, it's worth mentioning that we'll probably wrap things up next week. We'll probably chat, but. At some point in the next episode or after the next episode, we are going to probably have a bit of downtime here in Ashen's Rest to allow for the events of the Volant Vault, our live show episode, to happen. So
Okay.
there's probably going to be like maybe a month or at least a couple of weeks of you guys spending time in Ashen Rest, recovering, recuperating as those events transpire. And then we will formally be on the new rule set, but also all of your new stuff will come
We
into
kind of
play.
have
Awesome.
somewhat the last couple of weeks, yeah.
exactly.
So that means the next couple of episodes is going to be the beginning of a new arc.
Yes, I think that's what we're going to do. It's going to basically be like wrapping up this last bit of money with the Duke, sending Eldrac off, which is already going to be taken care of, any kind of like plans or like magic item creation or like developing the tavern that you want to do, and then figuring out what the next arc is going to be. Also, a certain knight errant needs to
Hello,
go
I
and
need
potentially report on his
To go see
progress.
Nora, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there might be a new development on that as well.
Might be.
And who knows?
Failed.
Also, you need to go see Mystique about a lovely bespoke outfit.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, with that is the end of today's episode. Thanks
Hell
so
yeah.
much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.